And we are back for another week of Polyhedra and the, well, Light of Thylea, as that has been now determined, plays Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Guys, I am so excited to dive back in. I was just telling these guys, like, this is my Friday. This is the last game of the week that I play. And I could not be... Well, I know that sounds weird because it's Thursday, right? But for my week, it starts technically on Sunday. So you guys see that with a stream with Curse of Strahd. And then it ends... Well, actually even before that. But it ends with this stream. And I could not be happier to have this be the end to a wonderful week. And I just love it. It's such a cool job. So thank you guys
I didn't realize you bookend your weeks with me. Because I'm in that Sunday morning game.
I know. It's you. You're my alpha and omega, Damon. You're my alpha and omega.
Oh, that's scary, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Let me cue up some music, too. While I get this going, if you guys have any news about stuff that is happening all about the nerd world, let us know. Anything that you guys wanted to do a shout-out for. Not all at once.
My mother-in-law gave me a cool shirt. It's nerdy.
Who gave you a cool shirt?
Dice.
Oh, yeah.
My mother-in-law.
Oh, cool.
Shout out to Yoko Fast Food. This is not sponsored, but Arizona good Japanese food.
Shout out to Chewy on the sill for all you cat lovers out there.
Meow. Hi, Chewy.
We have a charity stream coming up, right, on Polyhedra.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us about that?
Absolutely. Thank you for queuing me up for that one, Andrew. Yeah, as far as the
scripted.
That was actually not scripted. That's funny. I have it on my script. I just didn't tell them that they had to do that. Now I got to pull up my script. Yeah, if we're going into that stuff, I am super happy to talk about that stuff. I just wanted to let you guys know, as far as that stuff goes, we are going to have 2 streams that are coming up that are going to be super exciting. First, one of the things that we've been working on is getting new DMs hired and into this, and I've been super excited about that. One of those new DMs is Jay, and DMJ is going to, that sounds like DJJ, you know, or just, you know, DJ. DMJ is going to be running a... yeah, exactly. Is going to be running an Extra Life stream. If you don't know what Extra Life is, extralife.org is a fantastic organization that brings gamers together to stream things for, well, free, but for donations, right? So as we're gathering donations, we're going to have people that want to play games with us able to join one of those games. It's actually a thing that he has, you know, written himself and actually already has made available through some of the PDF sites that you can buy. Well, sites that you can buy 5th edition flavored PDFs and adventures through. Now, as that goes, the details, this is the important part. This is going to be on 420. We're going to start at 1 o'clock in the morning in 9 minutes because that would be 69 minutes into the day. Just kidding. It's not going to be 420:69. But it is going to be happening on Tuesday at April the 20th. The one caveat, and this is going to be something, if you guys can make this work, you know, schedule it now, take some time off because this happens at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you guys can make that 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on 420, that would be fantastic. The easiest way to do that is follow this link. Let me see if I can find this really quick. I'll throw that in chat as well so you guys can follow that there. And of course we had like 50 messages in our general chat today. God, I love this community. I'm not even saying that sarcastically. This is amazing. Do you guys want to talk about the PvP really quick? What I told you guys about?
Free for all.
Yeah, it's basically a battle royale now.
Mm-hmm. Who's excited for that one?
Very excited.
I mean, at least I'm gonna be recuperating, so y'all aren't gonna have to worry about my stony stare.
And David just told us it's going to be level 20, so we're all excited about that.
I cannot confirm that at all. It is going to be level 5. It looks like we're actually doing a little bit of an internal voting poll, and for now, tier 2, meaning level 10, is winning. But I think because people are now realizing it's going to be a free-for-all PvP, they might be changing their minds to level 5 instead. Also, I personally believe level 5 is a super exciting level because on the one hand, you get extra attack. On the other hand, you get some powerful spells, but not spells that literally just erase someone from the combat, right? You don't necessarily have banishment yet, which against a low save character, that is devastating. But yeah, so that is going to be happening next Friday. Tune on next Friday. This is going to be at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. There's going to be 6 people battling it out. We're working on making a fantastic environmental hazard map that is going to be making things a little bit more complicated. And because you guys know these people, I know, for example, Damon, you're not a big fan of PvPs, is that right?
That is correct.
Why don't you like PvPs? What is it about it?
For the same reason I didn't like PvP in WoW. I'm not a power gamer.
You just prefer,
so
like,
I just get crushed by people who are.
Yeah, it's like
I'm here for the story.
Click real fast and things.
Yeah,
I hear you there. Yeah.
Like in WoW, it was more I'm in my late 20s, early 30s, and married and have a job and all this stuff, and I don't live in my mom's basement, so I don't have time to get that good at PvP.
Yeah.
The shade.
No, but that's
with
exactly
D&D,
how
it's
it is.
more. It is. With D&D, it's more I'm here for the story. I could power game if I wanted to, but that's just not what interests me. So.
Right. Well, and not just that, but like in WoW, people just use broken strategies half the time, or they'll just keep spamming shit or whatever, and it's just like.
Yeah, just play a rogue and jump in circles around your target. Go
I mean,
for it.
yeah. That's what you guys do, especially when I have flanking turned on, right?
I mean, either that or just play a paladin and just stun lock them, and then they're dead.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, I'm not a fan of PvP in general.
If you had the chance to rejigger your mechanics before the PvP event, would that make you more interested in playing it? Or if there was a PvP event where you got to build an entirely new character, you know, everyone did or whatever.
I mean,
would that make
like
you more...
I told David, you know, if we needed numbers, I'd play. I'm not opposed to it.
Oh, I'm not trying to push.
It's just not. It's not what I look for in the hobby. Is the thing.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
there's no story. I mean, yeah, you know, Mercer put some light story wrapped around the free for alls that he did with the.
Show me what
guys,
you've got.
Yeah,
light rip off on that, but.
I want my potatoes character development, man.
You know, there's no real story in a PvP, so
it's more about
no
it's more drama, less true story development. It's the drama of like,
exactly.
won't he one shot this character because he's a barbarian and does a lot of damage. But then again, it's Brian rolling, so what's the chance of a nat 20 there? Oh!
Got him.
Watch it.
Now
He's
it's
gonna
like-
he's
I
gonna
actually
one
agree
shot
with-
one of my things that I throw at you guys today. He's just gonna be
I'm gonna
whack
grapple a
done.
dragon here pretty soon.
Oh no.
Yeah, you do a one-shot slice of life Ghibli inspired campaign. I'm there.
I mean, Brian is sold on that too. So what are you doing
I
on
have it right here.
what are you doing on early mornings on Tuesdays? Eyes Unclouded? Also not sponsored, but fantastic. I've checked it out too. Actually, some of the samples. It looks really, really cool. All right. Anyway, so those are the couple things there that we wanted to shout out as far as upcoming streams go. One thing that I wanted to mention though, on our path to partner, just as a reminder, and I actually had to remind myself today for the subscription that I get because my wife wants Amazon Prime, which is good for us because delivery costs would be very expensive. Is if you are using your Twitch Prime to subscribe to our channel, just a reminder, this may have been a month ago now that you guys originally did this, and yes, you absolutely need to up this every month. It is super annoying. It is a hassle, and you guys are amazing for sticking with us. We absolutely appreciate it. You guys are amazing. We're having fun doing this. It's absolutely not about the money at this point. So we just enjoy having you guys in chat, throwing things at us. It's super fun. Also, obviously, if you guys want to follow, this is the first time you guys are checking this stuff out. That helps as well with the recognition, getting more people on there. Hey! What's up, Ice Cold Milk? Thank you so much for that. That's exactly it. Now, a couple other things that we wanted to give you a heads up about. We're going to do 2 updates on the website. The website Polyhedra.io is going to get a little bit of a makeover, just because what ended up happening, just so you guys see behind the scenes, is the developer that I'd hired to help me out with that kind of didn't do their work, so I had to step up and do that. So what you see on there is a guy trying to be another guy while he's being another guy, right? And that is exactly what came out of it. It's not terrible, but it can be better, and that is exactly what I am working on now with some other talent to improve that. So we're going to have the blog site up here soon, and also importantly, we're going to have pages for our DMs where you can check them out, look at some of the, obviously some of the opinions that the other players had that have played with them before, and most importantly, see what available games they may have. So if you want to jump into one of my campaigns that has an opening, fantastic. You can check which ones of the campaigns do. Finally, the last thing that I wanted to mention is that we're going to have a couple of guest characters coming up over the next week. Curse of Strahd. If you have followed it, you know that Jason is going to be stepping away for a little bit as his little baby girl, or baby boy actually got induced today. So that is the thing. Don't expect Jason back anytime soon, as anyone who has ever had a kid before, that stuff wrecks your world. But hopefully we'll have him back soon. In his place, we're going to have someone from the community step in and play a guest character. I'm not going to spoil who it is or what the character is, but I'm excited. The same is actually true for our crew here. Our dear Justin is going to be undergoing a little bit of surgery next week. Hopefully nothing too major or bad, but it's going to hurt, and it's going to definitely include a lot of drugs, and Justin is apparently all about that. Like, he's like, hey, yo, son. I'm just kidding.
I just don't need to be on the internet when I'm on drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
That could make it more interesting, yeah.
I mean,
you were just like, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, man.
Wisdom teeth, man.
Yeah.
I was just telling them I got all my wisdom teeth taken out at once, so all 4 teeth came out at once, and I didn't do the full anesthesia, so I just did the local stuff, and I could see like them working on it. This is getting graphic, graphic warning, right? As they were like working on it, and like I could feel the fulcrum, the leverage coming out, and I could see them working on it. And as a 17-year-old, like I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, right?
Terrifying.
It is. But here's the thing: if you're fully under, there's the risk that they might crack your jaw, but because you're not like conscious to tell them, yeah, you could maybe lose feeling in your jaw. Sorry, Justin. Didn't mean to freak you out there.
Speaking of dental work, this sweet girl got some just on Tuesday.
Oh, unhappy.
Somebody's camera shy.
Right. Oh yeah.
Dodge action, dodge action, dodge action.
She's not having it.
Alrighty,
She'll have her moment in the sun.
But
there you go. Way of the pissed off cat monk. I want one of those.
Ooh, you know what? That would make actually a very popular PDF if that came out. But okay, enough fucking about. Let's dive back in. Those were the announcements. We're excited for the guest characters to step up. Unless you guys have anything else, I think it's time to delve back into tonight's session of Polyhedra Plays Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Previously, our group of chosen ones named themselves the Light of Thylia. You guys had just finished a harrowing fight against harpies and goatmen and a manticore as you picked yourselves back up and flew across the ravine, balancing across, almost rolling a natural one and falling to your deaths and having to reroll a new character. But oh my god, Lyra has flying abilities, so cheat mode. You guys were able to make it across. Yeah, sometime. You guys were able to make it across and cut through the Astorian mountainside. On your way there, you all were beset by nightmares, as the Queen of Death and the Titan of, well, dreams seemed to assault you guys within your dreamscapes. You all saw the same visage of a tall, clad in green and with some kind of interesting crown, a green scythe at her hand that I didn't describe accurate or enough last week, as Tyler correctly pointed out. Woman upon a massive throne. Each of the characters had different iterations of fears and nightmares that would haunt them, as Lutheria, or at least what appeared to be Lutheria, was preying upon the characters' fears. You guys all came to, kind of shared your experience with one another, and ultimately, I think, had a little bit of resolve built to stop these assaults on you guys at the very least. You came through the southern gate of Astoria, speaking to a merchant who let you guys know that Sidon had been cursing the surrounding landside with rain. And with this drought approaching, at the same time, Pitor and the others within Astoria had been trying to sacrifice to Sidon to appease him to make the rains return to the lands around Astoria, without much success. Now, most recently, the princess and daughter of Pitor was taken to be sacrificed to Sidon, and appears that is potentially going to appease the wrathful Titan and God. Now, as you guys traveled into Astoria, you were assaulted by people on the street trying to sell you guys powerful items that potentially have a very terrible curse upon them because they took it from, graves somewhere in a necropolis. On the flip side, you guys had some wonderful bath conversations, while others traveled to the Hall of Vulcan. And Vulcan being the god of the forge in, the proportions of a dwarf. You guys had a conversation, and he let you guys know that you need to see Pitor, and he actually nodded and accepted you, Brodus, for the first time ever. And you just walked into a corner and cried like a baby. No, that is actually not canon yet. But as you guys all kind of returned back to the Dragon's Tooth, the inn that is located kind of in a central location within Astoria, and spoke to Delphion there, the proprietor of that inn, you ultimately had Kyra rejoin you because she had left originally to try to see if she could maybe talk to her brother and king of Astoria, Pitor. She returned with a little bit of a retinue of some centurions of Astoria to guide you guys back towards the palace of Pitor. Is there anything that I forgot to mention that you guys would like to make note of?
I don't think so.
There was an exchange.
Dude,
Go ahead.
the farmer guy or whatever he was told me that King Acastus was bringing back the dragons, but I haven't told anyone that yet, especially not Brissa.
Yeah, it seems to be a rumor now, like something that is bordering on legend, but is very popular with a lot of the settler folk of Thylia. That it appears that Acastus is trying to, the king of Mitros, the city that you guys just traveled from, seems to be trying to bring back dragons and the cater of the Dragonlords once more. Alrighty. With that, let me check on this audio situation. And as we dive back in, you guys find yourself surrounded by the centurions of Astoria, and Kyra, who's kind of like, you can all tell she's definitely not in the best of moods. As you guys are starting to head northward, I'll call this out, so give me 1 second. All of you guys go ahead and make me an insight check.
Nani is not very insightful.
Ooh, Brissa, what's up?
Except in this one
Negative
instance.
1.
Yeah,
And
we're,
I think it
we're
might have-
not a very wise group on the whole.
Lyra, I think it might have just glitched out for you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. I definitely didn't roll a 15 or anything. It's fine.
What would you?
Insight.
What was your total on that one?
Oh, okay. Never
A
mind.
15. Okay.
There you go.
Alrighty. Only Crane and Kasaria, you guys don't notice that. Kasaria, you just don't care about Kyra anymore. You just like trying to actively avoid looking at her if you can. While Crane, you're just like, these people usually try to arrest me, so there's a little bit of that anxiety that usually goes with being surrounded by centurions, right? All the rest of you guys, however, notice that Kyra is like flushed. You can see her neck is just kind of red from anger, maybe embarrassment or something like that. As she turns towards you guys and says, "Listen, if Pitor is too much, just go with it for now. I am not happy with him right now. I can tell you that. He is a little shit, but sometimes bigger brothers have to be put right by their little sisters, yes?"
Don't tell my sister. Oh, I don't have a sister. Never mind.
Yeah. Anyway,
I wanted to contribute. I'm sorry.
I like you, Yanni. Thanks for making me laugh with this. All right. As you guys are walking through the streets, you definitely are getting gawked at by the general populace, and as you guys are getting closer to the northeastern parts of Astoria, you guys see that the clothes and togas of the people are becoming nicer and nicer and are embroidered with richer and richer materials. You see gold, silver, and bronze, different kinds of types of jewelry, from bracers to necklaces to gauges to some have septum rings and stuff like that. And there's just a general wealth here in Astoria as you're starting to move closer towards the palace and the eastern parts of the city. And as you guys ultimately come to the highest point where the temple stands, before you see a large building that is almost like a temple in structure, right? You have all of these pillars up ahead of you and aside of you, with a central structure in the middle that has a large double wide opening with a red carpet kind of leading in. But there's a little bit of a front raised area as you guys have to walk around the sides, walk up some steps, ultimately coming to the actual rise of steps towards the temple / palace structure itself. As the 8 centurions that have been traveling with you guys actually fan out towards the sides, and almost like a honor guard retinue make their way to the side so that you guys can progress. That is where we're going to switch over to a new view. This transition in maps is brought to you by you guys. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you guys have not noticed, there are some details that you guys might want to consider, which is, for example, that your subscription is running out this month. If your subscription is indeed running out this month, definitely double check with that to make sure that your Twitch Prime subscription is still active. You guys have been amazing so far. Thank you guys so much. As this hopefully is eventually going to load in. Don't make me ask Brian for his same joke again, because no, I won't. We'll have to ask a new person. Andrew, give us your best joke.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees?
That's a good one. Why?
Because they're hiding.
Because they're really good at it. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, looks like we're having.
Oh man, guys, we gotta. David has high standards here. We are not landing these.
Well, my thing is not currently working, so let's give that a hot second while it is trying to think and load up again.
David, I'm sorry if I missed an audio cue about earlier. I was so I didn't. But I heard like just the ending of something that you said. I think.
No, I was just saying I'm not gonna put you through that again. Oh, there you guys see some of the stuff that I looked up.
So what the heck is a crab rangoon anyway?
It's a rangoon made out of crab, and a lot of other stuff that is actually not crab. It's probably Azat's crab, but who knows? As you guys are approaching the temple, we can definitely freeform some of this stuff.
Resemblance.
Thanks.
Brian looks like Peter, or Peter looks like Brian.
One or the other, yeah.
He's my dad.
Yeah.
He's my dad.
Shoot.
Dude, it would have been hilarious if you just like took a screen grab of Brian's face and turned that into the Peter token.
That's
that
the
would have been
token.
fantastic.
Yes.
All right, we are, I think, back in. This is something. Whew. Alrighty, starting to look better. Ah, boy. Thank you guys for the patience. This is fantastic. Alrighty. As these people have very wide views and their visions are far ahead, I'm guessing you guys are going to start approaching into the temple itself, yeah?
So what is our plan?
I mean, my plan is to walk up to my father and see what he has to say. Kyra seems to have like briefed him or like talked to him. He's expecting us. He's sent the Centurions to come and get us. So
as you kind of like look towards her, like you announce this, and she just goes, "Well, the Centurions told me that we all should arrive, so they told him we'll see if that is actually a known factor, because he is currently drinking his ass off." So
that's not very encouraging.
Yeah.
You think he'll share? I could use a drink.
There is one thing that I'm sure of, and that is exactly that. All right, let's go.
live, right?
This will be the first
Move
time
to the
Rose
right.
has seen his dad in like 80 years.
You got this,
And you're
bro.
old.
We've
Marty.
got your back.
All right. As you guys step forward, you see a large hall with a raised two sets of daises that are on the, not daises, but like catwalks almost on the side, where people certainly could have like a large gathering to listen to Pitor or someone else speak. At the end of the hall, clad is this beautiful granite statue of Pitor with this massive hoplon shield and a beautiful spear at the end, and a helmet as well, all clad out of bronze with these beautiful platinum and gold encirclings along it. As you guys watch, currently Pitor is kind of sloshing around with this golden cup as he just like downs it like the biggest bro in history. You see what looks like a gaggle of nobles kind of like going, that is truly fantastic, your kingship. And as Kyra just rolls her eyes, steps forward to clear her throat, and suddenly it's almost like the voice that she has is throwing further than it has any right to go. She goes, the light of Thylea, the chosen of the gods, have arrived, your lordship. And Pitor is just kind of like, as he kind of turns around and is like, almost has the cup in his hand like he's about to beat someone up with it. Kyra just kind of puts her hand up and starts grabbing the bridge of her nose as she shakes her head. The nobles all kind of turn a crinkled nose at you guys, as this little bit of a pool area seems to be separating you guys from the rest of this area. As Pitor kind of like stumbles over and kind of like starts swaggering towards you guys.
These nobles, do they have signifiers of being the followers of Sidon, or are they nobles of the city?
Make me a perception check. Or investigation. Up to you.
Let me see what my numbers are. Perception +1, investigation -1. Let's go perception.
Sounds good. You notice that they are all wearing colors that are very much resembling that of Estor. So it's all kind of like different shades of green. You see a couple of them have like the pins and the brushes that actually are kind of like the hammer that is significant or seems significant to the people of Estoria. As he kind of like goes over and he just kind of like sits heavily on the side there. His legs are kicking into the water itself in front of you guys there, and he's just like, so
Ray nudges Rhodas forward, like in the shoulder.
So you are the Oracle's chosen, yes? Let me tell you of my woes. And as he says that, Kyra's face is absolute beet red. She is livid as she, before he can continue at all, she brashly interrupts and says, whatever your woes may be, drowning yourself in wine is not going to solve them, my dearest brother. And you can see him just kind of like shrink down. He's a formidable man, easily like 8 feet tall, massive calves, muscles rippling everywhere, but a little bit of a gut starting to form. You have a duty to serve the people in these dark times, and instead, what are you doing? Wallowing does nobody any good. As he kind of just really hangs his head now in shame, and you see there's actually like a tear that's starting to run down his face. And he kind of like definitely is like choking back a cry. So he just goes, that may be true, but what can be done? The oath of peace binds my hand, and now
Rhodas will step forward, and he'll interrupt him and say, do you not fear for the life of your child?
And you see there's kind of like through the drunken haze, there's just a moment where he's just like, but perhaps you can help me. And he kind of like, you see him kind of just stand up and back off a little bit. Everybody out! Out right now! Everybody out! As all the nobles kind of look at each other and then give you guys like snooty looks and kind of like start walking as if on stilts, leaving the hall here.
I just sort of look around and shrug.
As he says, come! And he kind of staggers to the side. You see there's actually a cask of wine kind of behind his forward-facing right foot there, as the nobles, one by one, start filtering out of the hall there.
Rotus is gonna size himself up. See, he's curious. How do I feel in terms of
Make me a perception check.
I'm glad Crane did it first because I was thinking the same thing.
As you look at Pitor and he seems pitiful. Like he is a powerfully built man and more than a man. You can see the celestial power, that divine spark that seems to be innate in him, but it's just dulled. It's like a diamond that wasn't cut properly or somehow got damaged by something after the fact, as the beer gut kind of like drags his posture downward and he kind of just hangs his head low a little bit more. And as you watch all of that, there's just a kind of like sadness that overcomes you. But overall, due to your posture and the like, you are the man who stands prouder. As he kind of like has a bunch of like brass cups now in his hand, like trying to hold 6 at a time. All right, here you go. He's like starting to hand them out to each of you guys and just kind of forces them into your chest. You're just like, okay. As he goes, up.
This is a god?
Yeah. All right.
How embarrassing.
Are you saying that out loud, Craig?
Rotus is just gonna set
Yeah,
his aside.
absolutely.
And as Kyra kind of gives you a look and just like a little bit of an eye roll, Pitor kind of turns over to you and just goes, "You listen here, you impudent little creature!" As Kyra steps forward, and she kind of like, he turns around and is like, "What?" And he kind of like stumbles over towards the pool as he then just starts barfing into the water. And Kyra just...
I'm not going back in there.
And Kyra just kind of, again, holds her bridge shut. Mother, guide me. Alright, come here. As Peter's just kind of like... And she kind of like brushes the throw up off of his face very quickly, as it seems to just kind of dissipate into nothing. She puts a hand upon his forehead, and then she kind of intones. You suddenly see these like purple and pinkish lines forming between her fingers as it pulses for a second. Pitor just kind of goes, Do you understand how much of a hangover of weeks of drinking hurts, sister? She goes, "Oh, boohoo. Can we now talk to you?"
Are you back with us then?
I'll use shape water to make a cold compress for the back of his neck.
He kind of like looks at you for a second and just goes, "Oh, thank you."
You done?
I'm sorry. And he looks at Kyra as then he like blinks. And it's like he sees you again for the first time, Rotus. But beforehand you were just a blurry figure, one of the chosen ones, and that was kind of like the like some weird opportunity he saw. Now he seems to actually see you. And you see his eyes go wide, his jaw drops a little bit as he just steps forward, puts his arms wide, and just takes you into a bear hug. And despite your massive form, you feel that this hug is bone crushingly, just barely on the edge. It's just like, what were you gonna say, Casaria?
So, point of interest. When Crane used shape water, was she using the water that he just barred from since she didn't create it? And is
100%.
that like
Around
was
it,
there barf
like-
from this compress?
100% the barf one.
Inquiring minds need to know.
Once it's frozen, the germs are dead, so, you know, it should be fine, but he did that to himself.
Okay.
I'll move around it.
Of note, there's not a whole lot of chunks in the water. That was almost just like regurgitated wine
Just
directly
wine.
into it. As he kind of like lets go of the embrace and steps back there, he just kind of like has his hands on your shoulders as he's looking you up and down appreciatively and just like, this is fortuitous. Kyra, you brought them home? I brought them here. I don't know if this should truly be called home. After all, this is one of your many exploits returned here. Someone who you have not paid attention to for a long time. But it's not even my place to say this. And points towards you, Rodus.
Rodus is giving Peter the opposite look. So if he's looking at me appreciatively, I'm looking more sort of disappointedly, looking down on him. And again, I ask, you haven't even asked us about your daughter yet.
Yes. As you see him just longingly look back towards the cask of wine. My daughter.
Will I save you now?
Anora was taken, and she's to be sacrificed. She's the last good thing. She's the one who truly reigns the city. I was never made for this. Kyra, you know this. The First War is where I belonged, where I proved myself. I ran this city for so long. When Anora's mother was taken, I don't know. She's the only thing that kept me going. And now she is gone too. And with this damnable oath of peace, there's nothing I can do. As Kari goes, there is. But the first step on this path is going to be realizing that you cannot pity yourself into a better situation. Kesaria, use that sharp tongue. She kind of just nods towards Pitor as he's just kind of like, you see this massive man kind of like hunched over, kind of sad looking, like looking at you like a dog that is already being beaten on. What do you say?
I mean, just because he's not on a battlefield doesn't mean that he forgot how to be a leader. Where the hell did all that go? Look at the commendations and everything and all the stories and the songs they sing about him on the battlefield. Where's that ferocity? Meet it with diplomacy and politics.
Yeah, talking was never my strong suit.
How do you inspire your soldiers?
I would say that you don't need to start a war to fight for your daughter's life. You can just fight one fight, not make it a war, not break the oath of peace. You're golden. We fight all the time. We're not breaking the oath of peace.
You see Kyra and him kind of have that
We're not
look.
starting a war.
There's definitely kind of like this insight look between both of them. There's something that they're not saying and kind of leave unspoken as he turns to you and goes, "Believe me." And there's kind of like, you kind of feel suddenly there's a little bit of heat that seems to radiate off of his body. You see his eyes kind of starting to glow, much like Rodus's, and his voice kind of becomes lower and deeper, and as it just kind of like goes for, "If I could save my girl now, I would." He kind of seems to simmer down as the veins start to glow a little bit less. He shakes his head. But alas,
Then why don't you send your son?
What can we do that a god cannot?
everything. As he just looks at you.
Interfere?
Yes.
We can attack Sidon's people. He can't. We're
have
not
one
bound
quick
by the
question.
oath.
You are not. You are not. And Kyra just goes, wait, we still have to play the smart. I'm so tired of playing the smart, Kyra. We have played the smart for 5 centuries. I am tired of it. I finally want to. And she kind of like gives him a look. Fine. Smart it is then. Kyra kind of looks around at you guys. If you'd like to give them the situation.
Can I ask one quick question?
To them or to me?
Not to you, to the
Oh.
to the DM. You mentioned Honora is the name of her mother. I just want to confirm my mother's name, Ophea. I'm pretty sure. I want to make sure that this isn't my like full sister. I'm confirming this is my half sister, right? We'll see.
Yeah, there might be some good follow-up questions to ask your father. As he goes, listen, Sidon sends his disciples. The Storia's forces are not what they used to be. Sidon has been playing a cold war for years now, and finally his actions are coming to fruition. People are leaving us. They have gone to Arisia or Mitros. Our warriors are thinned out, living on half rations already. We have sacrificed as much as we could to Sidon, but his appetite is bottomless, ferocious, never-ending. There is now an army of centaurs that is camped just outside of the North Pass. Anything that may lead to war would surely wipe out Astoria, and hundreds would die if the centaurs were to retaliate. I have tried talking, dear sister Kyra. I've asked the general of Sidons to come and parley one more time, Gaius. He says he would hear me out, but that no offer would likely suffice now that they have Honora.
What if you offered them the light of Thylia?
Wait a second.
Yeah, speak for yourself. Offering up my freedom.
If we know we are walking into a trap, that is a trap for them.
Keep-
So why not walk there without handing ourselves over?
No. Let her
Incorporate the
speak her
element of
piece.
surprise as
We can
well.
we
We
can
need to
always
get in.
give critique after the full pitch was done. Yes. As Kyra
We
goes,
need to get in. We need to save the princess. What better way than to have them walk us in right to the center where the sacrificial ground is, and then spring our trap with the blessing of these gods that are here before us?
they look
Could
at
they
each
not
other.
help us unbind ourselves once we are there?
I mean, is their blessing not interference and therefore breaking their pact
They
already?
bless people every day.
Kyra kind of like has like a little bit of a smile on her face. She goes, well, there are certain tricksy things that we may be able to do that do not directly interfere with the Oath of Peace. As Pitor just kind of like looks excitedly. And are you... Look, He turns towards you, Rodis. I have years to make up for. I don't think I ever can. I know this. I have just finally met you. I heard you. I saw the way that you offered the head of that boar. And despite my... He kind of like again licks his lips as he looks at the barrel. Means of dealing with the stress. I still felt prideful and hopeful like I haven't in years. You are the blood of my blood. You are the brother of Anora. You are my heir. Rotus. There is so much I wish we had time to talk about. As Kyra just kind of like bumps you in the shoulder to ask you a question, Rotus.
Crane will go, Prince Rotus, Prince Rotus.
Sorry to ask my question.
It seems like you were about to say something, and then he kind of like said something like, "We just can't talk about it." As you're just like,
So I didn't say I have a question. I said I was crying. I'm crying. So Rotus is crying. He's shedding a tear, but he's not. He's keeping his arms crossed, and he's not sure about the situation. But
he just straight up steps up to you, right? He takes a massive hand in the back of your neck and just kind of holds you there and kind of swings you back and forth, grabbing your arm even as it's kind of crossed over, and just pushes your forehead to his. Pulls you back. My son. Gives you a kiss on the forehead. Kind of like takes a step back. And you all. You are those that the Oracle prophesied so long ago, huh? How does it feel to be
Well, it seems.
in the center of the fates?
Well, I had poop thrown at me by goat people. So.
Yeah,
there's
that comes with the territory.
I
Told you
used to think
once.
the gods knew what they were doing.
Told you twice.
Yeah, that sounds like some bullshit. She is pulling. As Okara just goes, yeah, you could say that again. She has a eye
it was
out
goat
for
shit.
him. And she kind of like nods towards you, Yanni, as he goes, well, I'm sorry. You do not want to be on Etheria's bad side. She's beyond vicious. She's just nasty.
We will protect you, Yanni, and we will rescue my sister.
And he just smiles at you. Thank you. Thank you, my son. It certainly is not a flattering day when a son has to bail his father out of something. But I am appreciative.
You're looking at it the
she's-
wrong way. You're looking at it the wrong way, Mr. God King. You're looking at it the wrong way. He's not bailing you out. He's your weapon. You're the general. He's the weapon. You're
Yes.
sending him to do the job.
Yeah.
This is your fight
to
too.
keep the peace. To keep the peace. We're
keep
sending.
Fuck
Send
the
the weapon to
peace.
keep
I,
the
I cannot wait for the day that this damnable oath is broken.
I
But
think
yes,
that should be Rotus's theme or tagline.
break the peace.
Yeah, send keep the peace. Yeah.
As Peter just goes, and speaking of weapon, but wait here for a minute. As he gets incredibly excited, and a large man, you're actually surprised how quickly and daftly he can move now that he is not in a drunken stupor. He just clears that pond with like a single standing leap, and bounds past
Show
you,
off.
Kasario.
He didn't even have to poof.
Show off.
Kyra just goes, yeah, that is that is how it is with him. As
I didn't forget your race against that one over there either.
no, I'm just
He's
I'm just
so
very good.
big, and you
He's
and
just so
Ballas
loud.
are like normal size. How'd that happen?
Choices. And she just kind of winks at you.
Oh.
Some of us don't have to be, trying to make up for inability by appearing larger than they actually. Oh, hi! Hi, Peter. As he kind of comes back in there with what looks like a beautiful warhammer. You see at the end of it, it seems to have the maw of a dragon kind of open and like about to have a spout of flame come out of it. And that is kind of like the actual part that hits. As the backside of it, with kind of like a pike or like a spike at the end, seems to be the horns of the dragon coming to a point at the back. You see that the horns themselves seem to be made out of platinum and gold. A beautiful shaft running down the side, and just like what looks like scaled leather makes up the actual hilt that you can hold. As he just kind of balances it in his hand, and it is apparent to all of you guys. This certainly is pretty valuable artifact at the very least.
I'm also gonna go ahead and say if he bounded past me like both times, that he probably spooked the snakes and they probably snapped at him.
Yeah, as he runs past you, one of the snakes kind of tries to get into it, and you feel the pain as the snakes try to bite into the arm, and the teeth kind of with their cartilage just go, and just like, ah. Oh, I'm gonna have to have that looked at. As the tooth pain of this snake really makes you maybe want to look out like someone that might be really good at the Hippocratic Oath, someone who's very good at medicine, maybe a surgeon, who's good at with animal teeth or something like that, But as we're definitely not setting up for
that one gummy.
Sorry, I'm being gone next week. He kind of runs over and he holds the hammer in his hand. And he looks at you, and there's just like an excitement. It's like a dad that remembered, oh my god, I have a Fender guitar, and he runs back out, and he's like showing you for the first time, and he's super excited. Definitely not channeling Damon on this one. But as he's kind of holding this hammer in his hand, kind of like almost like a newborn babe, kind of looking at it, and he holds it out and just like admires it. Boy, this is my hammer. With this. With this, you might be able to... Have you spoken to my father yet? As Kyra kind of turns. We were not able to make it to Vulcans yet. No, I figured I didn't really want to be a disappointment quite yet today.
So much drama.
We made our way over there ourselves.
Oh, you have spoken to him. Kyra kind of like raises an eyebrow, looking at you like, oh, you did. And what did he say? As he kind of like swings the hammer down, and it's like second nature him. It seems to have like a slightly longer shaft than it should. As he rests on top of it, and he's just like, "Tell me, what did he say?"
He had some good advice for us. He gave me what I was looking for.
So wait. There's another god here in town?
Oh like yeah, my father. He mostly just crafts for the military, but yeah. There hasn't really been a challenge for him for a while, so he's been getting bored. I've been trying to sign him up for maybe dance classes or something like that, but he says that he doesn't want anything to do with that, and, then he always snaps back that there's more important things to do, and don't drink so much, and then I just start yelling at him, and he starts yelling at me, and we start throwing thunderbolts at each other, and then we usually go home, and, yeah.
You guys should try building custom chariots together. No, that leads to a lot of yelling, too. It's a father-son thing. That's all there is to it.
I'm better at breaking things, and you see, despite the fact that he definitely hasn't like seen a lot of battle, you see there's still like these thick calluses on his hands. Like he certainly is still an impressive looking man. As he goes, but now that you've met him,
is this?
Go ahead.
Sorry, is this hammer something that I would recognize? Like, is it Peter's hammer? Like, it's a symbol of, like, if I was fighting with it, people would recognize it as like, he's fighting with
you have seen it dozens of times now, as it is on every standard, every flag, every banner. This is the symbol of Astoria now.
Does he know to brandish it towards the sky and shout some sort of catchphrase?
Oh,
I have the power.
I never thought of this before, but that could be good. Maybe I can call myself just Thor.
Bad. Just bad.
Alright, well, I'll workshop it with my father, okay? Custom slang, or whatever slogans.
We're done here.
We've been copyright striked. The stream is over.
Yeah.
Maybe.
3 strikes on 1. But he kind of goes, listen, no, what actually matters is the fact that Vulcan might be able to craft all of you weapons with these. For he gave this to me a long time ago. He thought he could turn me towards his craft. Custom chariots, that's a good one. I do love breaking things, though. I use this hammer.
You mentioned a forge.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
We do need to seek a forge.
Then you must take this with you when the time comes. Yes, With this Vulcan, we'll be able to craft new weapons. You will be as powerful as the Dragonlords, as powerful as I was in the First War. I slew legions with this. And Crane, that is kind of when a shiver goes down your back, as you've heard stories of Pitor, and that was part of the dread that you had. And there's just all of these
I flash back to the dream as well, yeah.
Where it's just like a flying entity just crashing through multiple cyclopes, just leaving gashes in their chest cavities as they fall over. And there's just like all of these legends of Peter just striking down and smiting legion after legion of Thalian Fey folk. And this weapon certainly has seen a lot of blood.
I can't help but putting myself into that perspective. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the dream and this story are mashing together. Yeah.
Is
he able to tell us like what these weapons might be able to do based on the properties of this weapon?
Magic. You have to ask Vulcan. I do not. Like I said, I'm better at fighting than crafting. I tend to break things. And you see him sheepishly look at Rhodas once more. Anyway.
I will hold out my hand.
And you see a little bit of hesitancy there for a second. He just goes, I trust you. And there's just a sincerity and earnestness in his eyes. There's a pleading that just kind of communicates through as he goes, listen, I know you mean what you say. You sacrificed to me with hope and dedication. And I will give this to you, as you rightly deserve this hammer and the power that it wields.
To us.
But you must promise she will not come to harm.
I promise.
Thank you, my son.
No oaths, just promises.
I don't know. I think
was gonna say.
a god might consider that one an oath. So.
As
Making a blood oath.
Kara, certainly there's kind of like a little bit of a smile on her face as she's holding her chin, kind of looking at this play out. Yanni?
Do we know when the sacrifice is going to be? How much time we have to get to her?
Well...
Like, should we have left yesterday? That's my worry.
I don't
know
exactly
happening on a full moon?
where...
Is it happening on a waxing moon? Like,
I don't know where exactly
what's the deal here?
Kept. Sidon is turning my eye aside. And he looks towards Kyra, and Kyra just goes, I went looking for her. I saw the camp. It's probably 5,000 of them. They could tear the city apart. I saw some nests.
Can't you guys channel each other's divinity?
Harpies too. You really, for a priestess, you really don't understand the limitations of what we can and can't do. And you see there's kind of like a little bit of a snapback and a frustration in Kyra's face as she says that. For running your mouth so much, you do not do a lot of listening. As Peter just goes, anyway, and he kind of like turns towards you, Rhodas, is like, are they fighting?
I shake my I can't believe that this is the conversation that I'm having right now.
Right.
It's a long story. We'll fill you in later.
Okay. Over a wine? And he just winks at you.
Well, yeah. Why not?
I like you. I see why you keep him around. He's a good bodyguard. Winks at you again, Yanni.
Wait, you know I'm his bodyguard? Wow, news job was fast.
I like to keep tabs on Brutus. Anyway, here, this hammer. You must spend time with it. Have it shape to you. Have it learn your way of fighting. But when you do, it is not unlimited, but you will be able to summon it to your hand and swing forth with it and strike at your enemies, flying above enemy lines like they're nothing.
Actual trademark at this point.
as he's just like, you cannot actually fly with this. It does not shoot lightning bolts. This is not road.
Okay, no lightning.
This is not door.
Lightning's inside of you.
Exactly. You are the lightning. Channel the lightning. Be lightning. But here's the problem. If you just go into their camp, I'm worried that they will just slaughter you. For Sidon would want nothing more than to see all of you dead.
If we challenge them,
We have to wait for them to bring her out.
That is another option. Say what you will about the
Which I
Centaurs.
do.
They are an incredibly honorable people. If you challenge them, though, it would be a hard fight. I don't know if you would survive.
Can we
Think they'd go
outwit
for
them?
like a? Do you think they'd go for like a champion, like Rodus against their champion, winner take all?
Maybe.
Correct me if I'm wrong, they did tell us that the little festival thing... Did they say it was like 2 days? I feel like someone told us how long it was going to be until they actually sacrifice.
It's a few more days, yep.
I can offer myself. And if I challenge their competitor and I win, we get Nora. And if not, they can sacrifice 2 children of Peter on the last day of the festival.
Don't be naive. They already have a princess. Why would they just want a prince? You need to offer them something more.
And see how, if they're greedy, they'll take it. And if they're prideful, they won't turn down the challenge.
As Kara goes, alright, so if I'm getting this straight, this might actually be different things that we could try. On the one hand, maybe, Rotus, you could offer yourself up instead of Anora. I will disagree with you on one point, Crane. You are Thalia's light. You are the chosen of the Oracle. And if we are to believe as to what she says, the prophecy tells that you all are able to bring an end to this war. That you may be able to turn aside the Titan's wrath. Which one looks more intriguing to you, if you were one of the Titans? A princess that surely will break the heart of my dear brother if she were to die. But that is it. Or if they were able to kill one of the chosen ones, who also happens to be his child. That could work. On the other hand, I mean, this would not be the first time in the many wars of Thalia that champions settled a score. It will be interesting to see what the terms are, but we could challenge them. But both are risky.
It sounds like with those plans, it would be safer for Rotis to potentially go in alone. But I don't want him to go in alone.
I'm sure we can send in a messenger.
If we all go in together, we're all going to be in it together. You know what I mean?
Maybe that could be a term of the challenge, that all of you guys go, stick together, and they get to pick a group of people that they will fight with.
I like that.
I mean, what kind of boons can they get to increase the likelihood of our success?
Do you guys have any...
Look at this big old hammer that
Peter's
Peter's offered us.
I'm sure around, like, out on the steps,
booned.
are there any, like, you know, baskets full of things that people have given to Sidon and stuff that we can just snag on the way and taking to Peter, sorry, and, you know...
Well, there is the
normal
Rock of
type of
Estor.
sacrifice.
It is where the cult of Sidon has been making sacrifices. And you guys actually kind of saw it on the way into town. It was kind of like on the western side off of the promenade itself. And you saw a little bit of a rock that had actually protruding from it a post with multiple shackles attached to it. It was kind of caked in red, and you guys kind of looked at it and was like, oh, that's kind of weird. There is a shrine to Sidon here in town. We need to make that a term. That if the sacrifice is to be performed, it is performed here. At least that way we don't have to worry about the army to come.
I'm not a master strategist, but that first plan with Rhodus switching himself for his sister, wouldn't that mean we still just have to fight 5,000 people to save Rhodus?
Well, that is where creative wording comes in, right? We just have to make sure that what we agree to on the oath that we do is that Rhodus is to be sacrificed. We in no term are going to guarantee that he dies. Being brought to sacrifice can have many meanings. Sure, we are going to post him up in his wonderful nakedness up on this rock. But then, then we fulfill our oath. And he is free to do as any hero would do. Defeat the odds. And if they interfere...
People. I just want to reiterate.
And like I said, we're going to give them an oath. And if they break their oath, why, the laws of Thylea are clear. If you break your oath, even an army of 5,000 screamers cannot overrun a city. For then we may unleash our wrath.
That's the loophole. Okay.
Exactly.
So we need to make them punch first.
Unfairly punch first.
Unfairly punch first.
So, the terms of the oath have to be: Rhodus is to be brought to sacrifice, rather in the stead of Anora. And that is the end. On the flip side, what they will promise is that they will turn away and their screamers will not attack the city in exchange for us making this oath.
And that it will be inside the city, the sacrifice.
Estor's Rock. At this point, brother, you said it is already being used for this, yes? Yes. They are sacrificing the oxen there. I was going to lead the 50 we received today there, myself. This feels wrong, but mischievous.
What? Question. What if they've got somebody that's smart enough to catch the wordplay and call us on it?
I do have another idea for that.
What is this?
What if, on top of Rhodus being the sacrifice for the oath, and then the sacrifice has to be here, if we're banking on them screwing it up, what if we say something like, until he's sacrificed, Rhodus won't be harmed, and then we could just throw a rock at him on the way here. Broken oath.
Walk me through this again. So, what are the words of this oath?
So, Rhodus is the sacrifice in exchange for his sister. The sacrifice has to take place in Astoria. And before Rhodus is sacrificed, no harm will come to him.
And then we have to get into their ranks and pretend that they attack Rhodus, right?
Something.
Would anyone attack Rhodus if no harm has come to him? Then, if any harm comes to him, technically he could cut himself. He could just, scratch his own arm and then it would break the oath, right?
I like it, but he might see through this. We can try it. But, you see, every smart contract bard in any city would try to include certain blaring mistakes, platitudes that draw the eye and distract so that the more subtle elements of the oath become overlooked. That could work.
So we need something else to promise.
Or
Something
both.
big and flashy.
We need to ask for something that they're not going to want to give us. And that'll draw their attention, and that's what they'll focus on.
And compromise into, okay, then we'll give you this instead, and that will be
Like
what
we
actually
put
do.
in something like after the sacrifice you leave and never come back, and all that applies to all of Sidon's followers, something like that.
Right.
Because they're not
That
gonna
would
go
be a
for
big,
that.
that would be a big ask.
Sidon
We
is
don't
banished
like
from the
that.
city. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone could sign on to this, but this is an option, yes.
Well, that's the part that we'll get rid of. The
Right.
Yeah, that's the part we compromise.
The problem on the
Compromise
oath,
with.
the oath only applies to the people who make it, or the people that they have power over. So at least the people. Peter, is the general coming too? Which one? You said Gaius? Yes. And he is leading all the centaurs? No. That is a separate general for the. Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay. Yes, both are coming. Just around noon. She kinda looks towards the sky. It's past. They're probably going to be here any minute. I'm excited.
Okay.
This is good. This could work. All right, who's going
Maybe
to?
we let's let Kira do the talking. She knows wordplay. Unless one of you guys, I'm not. That's not my thing.
They will suspect foul play on my part. I
Okay.
think-
I'm pretty good at
It's
oaths. I've made a few.
I don't know. There's like a
I'm not
devaluing
great at
effect at a
wordplay.
certain point.
I'm not great at the wordplay, but I do have some ideas for how to make things go our way in regards to making them screw up. Worst case scenario.
I say you do it then.
Are you thinking magical
Go for
foul play?
That's what I got in my arsenal.
Maybe do something that you can do beforehand. Something during will potentially cost Anora's life. We cannot risk this.
I feel like
it was more
excuse me.
so the hurting Rotus part. I don't want Rotus to get hurt. I like you, Rotus. We're buddies. But I do have some ways that I can get into their ranks, and maybe some casual conversation slips a casual suggestion
I see what you're
or a
saying.
magical suggestion.
I like it. That could be good. That could be very good. Alright, well, as Peter is already kind of has walked over towards the barrel, she just takes like one of her pins and just as it's just sticking out of him like half an inch. She's like, unnecessary, and he just kind of like takes in. You hear it crumble and like brittle to dust and pieces. Don't do that again! Get the fuck away from that barrel right now. Everyone else gets to drink. You over there now. So help
just-
me.
I'll lean over to Crane. Are they fighting?
Alright, as I need everyone to roll initiative. No, as Pitor kind of like starts to anxiously pace back and forth. You guys are certainly welcome to have a little bit of wine if you guys would like. Other than that, you guys are now just awaiting for this General Gaius to appear.
Okay, so let's figure this out. How? So, Lyra, you're gonna be the one to talk him through the oath. Is that what we agreed?
I think Lyra's gonna be our
Our
ace in the
fail-safe.
hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we should play ourselves low status to Pitor's high status, because they're expecting him to be in charge. So if we come in and go, oh, Pitor's nothing now, we're here to be the, negotiators, then they're going to go, why would we... Like, it doesn't make sense that we would be our own negotiators to make us the or make Rotus the sacrifice.
Yes.
I mean, it would be. I think it makes sense to have me be the one taking the oath, because then that way none of you are going to be responsible for breaking it, for hurting me, right? Because I'm the only person. As long as I'm not hurting myself, anyone can hurt me, and the oath would be broken, and I'm the only other person implicated in that.
Maybe
Right,
my
then we
point was
can-
that we should not look like we want this to happen, I guess.
So you think Pitor should offer up Rotus?
I do. It would make it look like it's not our choice or it's not our idea.
Could see
Well,
his
even if it's
daughter.
Rotus's, if it looks like it's Rhodus's idea, that could work. It's like, hey, you know, I'm stepping in to protect my own sister.
I feel like it's like his bastard son for his favorite daughter. You know what I mean?
But
David
again,
mentioned
and Kara
I mean,
goes,
but
chosen ones. We are the chosen ones.
you
Sure.
are
Yeah.
the ones
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the Oracle has foreseen to be able to challenge the Titans.
So if
think we
Pitor
should play
plays
up that
it
angle more.
selfish, yeah. So if they're expecting Pitor to be drunk and selfish and stupid, then he would drunkenly, selfishly sacrifice his son, who happens to be the chosen one, for his daughter, who he's always adored and who runs the city for him, so he can be drunk. That
And
makes perfect sense for
That is the
motivation.
story
for
that you could
Pitor.
tell. Crane,
Yeah.
you could be the one that
That's
spins
good.
this tale too.
I'm
Yeah,
happy to
do
do
it,
that.
do
yeah.
it.
Sure.
Do it.
I'm happy to play like I don't want anything to do with it.
And I'm happy to go hide behind a pillar or something so they don't even know I'm here.
Kyra, can you help me find something that is in Pitor's colors? Like something to wear that looks like I'm
She
one of
kind of whistles
Pitor's
at Peter as
followers.
he goes, "Oh, have one of your people undress and bring her the clothes she needs. Now." Jeez. Oy, Mitros. As he kind of like mumbles under his breath. After 5 minutes, he does come running back, and it's actually this beautiful robe. As he kind of like just like hands that to you over his two hands.
I take off my leather jacket and I throw it to Lyra, and I put on the robe for Pitor,
Lara, you
and I
just got a
act like
Letterman
very
jacket.
devoted to Pitor.
I don't think your wings are gonna work with that thing.
Might have better luck with a nymph.
You know what? Here,
negotiating
I got a
person.
dagger. Let me put some slits in it for your wings.
I mean, I want to give it back when we're done.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right. As you guys,
Do we want to let them know that like we're all here? Like, I mean, they might know that already, but do we want to confirm it? That could be bad because we know Sidon and Lutheria both want us dead.
You definitely shouldn't let
So-
them see Lyra if she's going to be hiding
Should
in their ranks.
should the rest? Well, she's gonna use her costume thing like I got.
well, she needs to
right,
see
but
who she is going
he's
to.
right. If they notice that I'm gone, that might cause problems.
Yes, and
Well, my
I
thought
would
is,
rather
maybe-
actually, as a consideration, why don't you use your little trick to make yourself look like this General Gaius, and issue commands then?
Okay, I just need to see him once he gets here.
And that's why she needs to be here.
Okay, but like, what if they just go all batshit crazy and start trying to kill us all? 'Cause they're like, oh, it's the chosen ones. The Sidon one's dead.
And we have two
They're
gods
all
who
right
can
here
fight
in
with
front of us.
Because they want to
Yeah,
make
but
it a
they
show.
can't. It's the oath.
They want Sidon to grow in power, and if they kill us here where no one can see it, Sidon's power doesn't grow. If they do it in front of the whole city knows Sidon's powerful.
They tried to knock us off a bridge in the middle of nowhere. I mean, come on.
Oh
Yanni
no, I
especially.
think Crane makes a good point
That was
here.
Lutheria.
That is very Lutheria.
To be
very
fair,
Sidon.
if-
They're pretty flashy.
If they do come in here to sign the oath, if Pitor lets them into his temple, whatever this is, they can't attack us unless they want to die because of the oath of hospitality, I
Hospitality.
think it's called.
Hmm. Yep.
So they wouldn't be able to just kill us here anyways unless they want to die.
There's also 2 of them and 8 of us.
Most people aren't very hospitable to street urchins, so I'm not familiar with that one. But I'll take your word for it.
There is so much stuff that we're going to have to do better for you in the future. And she kind of tousles your hair a little bit, Yanni. Alrighty, looks like Crane and Lyra, both of you guys are going to be doing the talking. Rotus, you need to look like the big bad man behind. Cross your arms, back a little bit straighter. Yeah. Level out your chin. There you go. That's
Maybe
better.
wipe off
Better
your
posture.
tears. Maybe.
Oh, and she kind of licks her thumb and kind of washes it away. There we go.
Okay, so Lyra, are you going to disguise yourself as like different from what you appear to be now?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Ro? Has it occurred to you yet that Kira's your auntie?
It has.
I am.
Okay, just
Right-
checking.
right
'cause
around when
it just occurred to me.
Oh, you're usually so quick with your tongue. I thought the brain was the same way.
I know, but I mean, like, I grew up without family, so I'm not so used to thinking about the family
Yeah.
angles of things.
It's true.
It's not as confusing because you and Pitor aren't sister wives.
Exactly.
Right when
and
I really
that
started
is
thinking
still
about
so disgusting. Ugh. Anyway, and as she says that suddenly
Hey, I
there's
got another question. Actually, along those lines. Well, sort of along those lines.
as there's
Oh, boy.
kind of like
I'll ask
horns
later.
kind of going off in front. As a soldier kind of runs to the beginning of the room and just says, Sidon's emissary, General Gaius, as well as leader of the centaurs, Baenor, are here with a bodyguard to speak to King Pitor. As he kind of looks worried over his shoulder but kind of steps back. All you guys see kind of a early to middle-aged man starting to step in, a long flowing cloak of blue with a lightning bolt emblazoned upon him. All of you guys go to make me a perception check.
Is he hot?
In
Right?
that kind of like daddy issues kind of way, maybe?
Oh, damn it. Oh, no. I don't know if he's hot.
I mean, I might have to roll with disadvantage if he is. I did anyway, apparently.
I mean, if he's traipsing around here in armor, he's probably pretty hot. It's not chilly right now.
He's a very that's funny. He's a very well built man. I can say that confidently. As you see more of these hoplites kind of starting to step in, and they seem to be kind of the same rank and file that you guys had seen in the temple, actually, in the grotto.
Okay, but how gay is the armor? Because we know during the Greek period it was very, very gay.
It's a high level
Mostly
of
skirts and
Yeah.
leather armor shaped like abs.
Yeah,
Right, is there
100%.
anything underneath these skirts? Like, what's going on? What's happening?
There's
What's
only
the
one way to
situation
find out,
here?
Casaria.
Don't conflate ancient Greece and Scotland. They're two different cultures.
That's fair, that's fair. I didn't realize he brought a centaur with him too, and now I'm a bit intimidated.
Yeah, as Gaius kind of steps forward and he's
Talk about
making
hung like a
long,
horse.
he's making
Oh,
long
no.
strides with the sandals as the kind of like steps kind of reverberate through the halls here. Baenor kind of stepping behind, and as they kind of both stop at the end of this little pathway or this little pool in front of you guys, Gaius kind of has this like pronounced nose that you would certainly see maybe on like a more of a Roman bust or something like that. Is he kind of looks at all of you guys with these kind of like gaunt eyes. You guys watch Crane freeze up. Crane, the mantle was your first indicating factor, but there's something about the posture, something about the way this man looks. You've seen this man before. That was the man that rode the silver dragon. The man who flung down some kind of charged lightning at your feet and summoned forth the centaurs to attack you guys at the trading post before you got to the temple. As he stops short, he kind of takes an assessment of all of you guys, stepping up to the middle and goes, I say that God Pithor is now letting insignificant creatures do the talking for him. Has the drink gotten so bad with you, you pathetic creature? And you see Peter just kind of like starting to emanate heat. His eyes kind of go that same golden light that Rhodasus do. As Kyra just shoots him a look and goes, she's like, his hair kind of lowering back down. And guys just kind of
I'm saying.
pathetic.
As Guys throws out this insult and Crane recognizes at least some part of his body language that triggers her stuff, she's gonna spin around, not to face him, just as a reaction, and like almost go into a panic attack. But then she's going to very slowly and very deliberately walk over to the barrel of wine, get a cup out, walk over to Pitor, hand it to him very submissively, and do a stage whisper into his ear that says, my king, General Gaius is here to speak to you when you're ready to receive him.
And he just kind of goes, and kind of like stage whispers, like, thank you, as he takes the cup from me and kind of like,
Specifically trying to insult Gaius when he thinks he can just walk in here without permission from the king.
and he kind of has, Gaius has his arms crossed and just tapping his foot. All right.
We'll wait for as long as
Peter.
Peter drinks.
You have said that you have some type of offer that may sway your decision to sacrifice to the one Lord of all, Sidon. What is your offer? As Peter goes, my loyal servants and the peasants of the lands have brought me 50 more oxen, as they will be sacrificed. And Gaius just goes, bah! What is this? You are trying to add insult to this injury, having to see this pathetic god before me drinking himself into a stupor. You're pathetic. As Peter kind of is embarrassed and angry at the same time. Fine then. We have another offer. I shall let these two explain. And there's just anger as you feel like the tongue-tiedness on Peter's face kind of like clearly show like this guy does not have a poker face at all.
I say to him very deftly, as if he didn't just say that, very you honor me for letting me do this for you, my king. And I'll stand up and I'll walk back to that position opposite with Lyra and Rhodus. And I'll say, our king would like to offer Prince Rotis, Light of Thylia,
Straighten up.
in exchange for Princess, Andrew forgets the name.
Honora.
I forgot.
Honora, favorite of Peter's children. We believe Lord Sidon would what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Prefer.
Would be satisfied, yeah. It doesn't matter.
Lyra, you can feel to kind of like as Crane's kind of like looking,
yeah,
like
please.
grasping for the words, you kind of like swoop in with a.
Please.
We offer Rhodus, also a child of the god Petor, in exchange, because he's also been prophesized by the Oracle Versi, and we believe that his achievements and future endeavors would benefit Sidon more.
What
We believe this
is
is a fair
in it
exchange.
for you? You give yourself up so willingly for the life of someone you've never known. Just staring at you, Rhodus.
What our God King demands is that Sidon leaves the city forever. Leaving him, his powers, and all his followers.
And I am proud to lay down my life for my father and my sister.
You must not have siblings that cared for you, General.
Watch your mouth, Siren. Alright, I would like Lyra to make me a persuasion check with advantage. Rhodus, make me a deception
Yeah.
check with advantage. Advantage. Actually, no, persuasion check with advantage. Well, deception check with
Deception?
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
With advantage, though.
Oh, sorry. Nice.
Nice. You know, sometimes the fates just go, no, this was it. This is it. You must be truly desperate, King Peter, if you think this is going to work. I will take no one in the place of Honora. This meeting is over. As he starts to turn around, all of you guys go to make me an insight check. Rhodus. And Kasaria.
Ooh.
You two notice that this is the walkaway trick. He's trying to pretend like he was not enticed by this, but Rhodus, you saw that there was like an eagerness, like his eyes just opened too wide for a second as he looked at you and just kind of like assessed you, looking over at Peter. Like you saw the math happen in his head. Kasaria, you saw this too, and Kasaria, you're pretty certain he's actually pretty eager for this, but he's playing coy as he starts walking away from that. The centaur kind of click, 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 click. Kasaria, Rhodus, what do either of you guys say to try to turn him back around, knowing what you know?
I mean, you mean to tell me that this man isn't going to jump at such an opportunity for his lord and master? Your face tells all, sir.
Sidon wouldn't be happy if you let an opportunity like this go.
It's funny hearing a comment like this from a Medusa.
I mean, I'm not afraid to look in the mirror.
You should be.
Learn from her mistakes.
You know what? You have been pesky. If you want to die a martyr for whatever reason you purport, be my guest.
Will be my honor.
It will be your death. I cannot wait. Fine then.
He'll be prepared.
We have
What are the
a
terms?
second term.
Oh,
The sacrifice happens here on Sidon's Rock in the city.
you mean Rock of Astor?
That's it.
And no harm will befall Rhodus before he's sacrificed.
To ensure the most honorable death possible.
He needs to be a flawless specimen.
When I said honor, I specifically looked at the centaur.
The centaur kind of
I'll
like
step forward.
starts shifting back and forth. As
I'll
the
step
centaur
forward
actually
and
kind of
I'll
says,
say,
or we could settle this like men and women of heroic proportions. As he kind of has the spear in his hand and kind of rings it. We could battle to the death, little ones. This guy goes, kind of shoots him a look, and the centaur kind of seems to shy away from him a little bit.
Crane will turn to Peter and walk to him and whisper this time, not in a stage voice, saying, I think this is going pretty well. They just gave us what we wanted. I'm going to just pretend that you're giving us permission to say yes to this.
And he's very excited and like trying to hide it, like,
Okay. And I'll walk back as if I got a command from my king. And I say, King Peter finds this acceptable.
and I am willing to accept this oath myself.
All of you will make an oath, and this oath will contain most of the terms that you have proposed. But none of you, and especially you two, pointing at the gods, are allowed to interfere. I know the tricks you probably have cooked up to do this. You think you're getting the better deal, but... Yes, Rhotus, the slayer of Sidon's boar, dead before the eyes of Astoria. Fine. This is amenable.
Sidon's born a few centos.
As the central kind of squares up more, standing taller, this thing is like, fucking 12 feet tall at full height. You're just like, oh god. This guy like looks way buffer than any of the centaurs you saw at the training post, by the way. Very well then. I swear an oath to bring Anora to the Rock of Estor in exchange for the one son of Peter by the name of Rotis to step forward and be sacrificed to the one Lord of all, Sidon. Make your oath and contain the correct terms, or this is off.
I also take an oath.
What do you say?
To be brought to the Rock of Esther in exchange for Anora, as long as no harm shall befall me before I am to be sacrificed to Sidon.
We all agree that no gods will interfere. No gods. Andrew wants to specifically mention that I said no gods, meaning Sidon.
Yeah, I caught you there, and Gaius did too, as he goes.
Yeah.
All of you
no
will
gods
swear
will
this
interfere.
oath. None of you may interfere with these.
I guess
Yeah.
he's got us there.
Agreed.
That
None
no
of us
one
will
other
harm Rotis.
Is that what you say? Because that might tip your hand later.
What?
Yeah, let's be pretty particular in what we're making notes for.
As you guys are playing lawyer games with a lawyer, go ahead and make me an investigation check. Trying to puzzle solve this. Is this the weirdest puzzle you guys ever played in D&D or what? Oof.
31.
Yanni, it occurs to you actually that what you could maybe do is cleverly use some words, maybe say directly interfere, or something along the lines of nobody will bodily interrupt the ritual itself. Nobody will try to not have the ritual go underway. And as you're thinking that, it's like, wait. If they're bringing them to the rock, if that could already be the sacrifice, maybe the timing here could be a good thing that you guys could consider too. It's like, nobody will interfere that Rotis is brought to the rock for sacrificial purposes. Because you guys are definitely going to make sure that he goes there. So what do you say, Yanni, as you kind of...
So I'll saunter out from behind the column and the planter there with somewhat feigned confidence, and kind of squeeze up in front of Kira some, just so they can see me, and I'll say.
And she kind of
We
pats you on the
swear.
shoulder and just goes, "You got this."
Does that mean I have bardic inspiration on any checks?
You sure do.
We swear, all of us, an oath, that we will not interfere in any way, nor will these gods interfere in any way with Rotis being brought to the Stone of Estor for the sacrifice.
All right, roll me a deception check and add a d12.
A D12, and I'm going to use
That
my DM
honkin'
inspiration.
Mhm.
I'm going to use my DM inspiration too.
It's when you hear
So-
the impact of the die on the table before it hits.
Yeah. So there's that.
It did not have
15.
advantage though. Oh, you did. You said you
No, I
used the
used my
DM
DM
inspiration.
inspiration.
You declared it. Whew, good too. That was a 9-point
did.
swing.
Wait, that's a 20, not a 12. No. Get rid of that. Roll this.
Ooh, baby.
Heck yeah.
Alrighty. As Yanni says the words, you guys all kind of look at him with a newfound regard. Even Kara just goes, "Damn." As you guys all can hear, this is like a Supreme Court statement made by the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You know, as you step forward and kind of like give that speech, all of you guys kind of go like, "I swear to the oath. I swear to the oath. I swear to the oath." Peter goes, "I swear to the oath." Kara goes, "I swear to that oath." Those guys goes, "Very well done. It is decided. Tonight, we're going to be sacrificing in the moonlight you, Rotus, in Anora's stead."
By combat.
All right, and as Gaius and Banner kind of turn around, and you see Banner kind of like is kind of huffing and puffing as he turns around, as he's just mad that he doesn't get to fight you guys. That is where we're going to take a 5-minute break, just because I know we've been running a little bit late. So we'll see you guys here at 9:50 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. See you guys in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Get a break. I can get a break. This is, I need to get up. I'm sorry. Oh, he's gorgeous.
There we go. That's the right screen.
spaceship.
Whoops. Alrighty. As the Centaur and Captain or General Gaius, as well as the bodyguards, all filter out, you see Peter kind of just like release a heavy breath and turn towards you guys. That was amazing. You are so good at talking. How do you do this? And Kara just goes, I told you, they're good, huh? Yes. That was amazing. Thank you. Sincerely. Thank you.
It's easier when you're sober.
Okay.
Hey. Stop poking the gods.
No, he deserved that one.
Between you and Crane.
Kyra just gonna go.
He said he wasn't good at talking. I'm just giving helpful criticism.
He's a man of action.
Alright, now we need to prepare. You need to attune to this. And once you are able to wield the power of my hammer, you'll be able to summon that weapon to you, even if they disarm you on the way there. They will not see that coming.
Oh, that's perfect.
Well, of course they're gonna. You might as well just leave the hammer here. I mean,
exactly.
You know they're gonna take it from you.
That
Yeah,
is
I'll
going
spend
to
the
be
next
a good moment
hour or so. I'll spend the next hour or so, sitting in the pool,
The vomit
playing
pool?
with it, swinging it around a little bit.
Can't we just like poke Rogus with like the tip of a sword and then he'd get injured and that technically breaks the oath on their part now?
Brissa, being the resident oath expert, the one thing that you're worried about is potentially that bad faith. Like what they're promising from their end was that they're not going to harm, but there's still Lyra's little suggestive nature that might come into play with that as well. Lyra, as you watch the soldiers and all of them kind of starting to filter out, you kind of have a thought. Maybe you're gonna go after them just to see. Go ahead and roll me a d4 for the day. Alrighty, now you gotta remind me, was that odds or evens for flying?
I think it was evens for flying and odds for being able to do
yeah.
cool mouth. I almost said cool mouth stuff, and I apologize.
I was just like, wow. I mean, this is not a PG stream, but damn.
I mean, cool talking stuff.
This is not only dice, okay?
Did you just chase Andrew right off his chair?
Alrighty. But Lyra, so you can fly this day.
talking mind stuff. Yeah.
You're feeling really good. But yeah, is there anything that you would like to do as you see them starting to head down the stairs and out of the palace area?
I am not very sneaky, but if I can fly, then I don't really have to be super sneaky. So I think I want to watch them leave and wait until they make quite a bit of distance.
Okay, make me a perception check. As you kind of step out of the palace area, you see actually what appear to be a couple of priests that step up towards Gaius and kind of like actually prostrate themselves onto the ground and like worship, almost like a worshiping posture towards him, right? And as they exchange kind of words, you're not able to overhear what they're saying to each other, but it is very clear from the blue togas that they're wearing and the lightning bolts emblazoned onto the back, like stitched into the fabric itself, that they are, I mean, very clearly Sidon worshippers.
Not
and
on our
priests
side.
of. Mhm.
Yeah.
As the priests actually stay behind as Gaius and Binner kind of start walking down the promenade towards the main road and westward, and then ultimately start making their way towards the northern gate. These priests actually mill about, and you see them chatting with some of the nobles that you had seen in the temple earlier.
There's so many things I want to do.
What do you do?
I will go behind one of the pillars real quick and turn myself into one of the priests.
Alrighty. You guys watch as you guys are all talking about, like, that was awesome, clapping each other on the shoulders and stuff like that. Lyra comes back in and quickly seems to turn back into what appears to be one of those priests. As you guys are just like, wait, what?
Wait. We just swore an oath that we wouldn't interfere with him being brought to the sacrifice. What are you about to do?
Thing isn't interfering, and I walk back out.
Okay.
All right,
Our
Lyra.
wedding isn't interfering.
Listening.
It's just, so I don't like that was like the third oath I've taken in my life. So, someone of you guys, fill me in here. If she fucks it up, does that screw us all, or just her?
I mean, it should just be her, because I certainly didn't sign up for any Divine Bot stuff.
It's almost like you guys
Theoretically,
swore
it
an
would
oath
be
of
just me.
friendship. Oof. But
We did.
as Lyra pushes forward, I'm guessing you're heading towards where the two priests are still talking with the noble, so the one that you're imitating is still there.
That's true. I really just wanted to listen in to what they were talking about and see if I could gather what they said to Gaius, if it was anything helpful about where they might be going.
At this point, it might be hard for you to stay hidden, as these people would certainly recognize the second one. It's like suddenly there's
Right.
another Lyra that comes into chat. You're like, but with your disguise self, you can certainly make yourself look
the
different.
guy with the coffee, when he looked just like him and he was all like, do that.
Yeah.
Go for that.
So you
Yeah,
could just look
that's
like
what I'll
another
do.
priest. Okay.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
step
I'll just do it again. I can just do it again.
As you kind of like step on, you're like, damn it. Your face kind of changes a little bit in structure, maybe into a female priest or something like that, as you step up towards the group. And what you're catching is like the tail end of something. Is it like, praise be to Sidon. Finally, the lands of Historia will blossom once more. Thank you. Thank you, Sidon. As you kind of come into the thing, the priests kind of look at each other with a visible look of confusion and the unasked question of, so who are you?
I'll ignore it and just say, did you hear that Pitor offered up his son in exchange for the princess?
They kind of look at each other. We did. You just missed the general. He told us the good news. Anora was a good lass. But this startup, what is his name? Brotor or Brohim or Brosef, something like this.
Probably something
Broly.
super flashy and obnoxious.
Oh, most definitely. Praise be Sidon to take this figurine, this pawn off the board. And that should cement. what we need.
pawn.
Get out there!
Do you think
Board
Gaius
wall.
needs help ensuring that everything goes smoothly? Should we go help protect the princess from them playing their tricks like they do.
They kind of look at each other with smiles. Oh no, Gaius's pet dragon is watching her. She is safe. And who are you exactly?
My name is Lyrian.
When your name has the word lie in it, go to make me a deception check. Unless, do you want to add anything else to that?
She has a good name.
Yeah, this time I gave them a name at least. I'll tell them that I recently fell under the privilege and honor of being a priestess of Sidon.
Make me a deception check.
Yeah. Where is it? There it is. Please, gods.
If you fail it, you have to call him a limp noodle.
As they kind of look at each other. Well, I suppose our recruitment has been doing well. I'm glad that you have seen the light of the lightning, sister. Indeed, these will be good days to come. Thanks to this turn of events, Astoria will not burn. That is good. No, I believe that Anora will be safe. I am less faithful than these betrayers, these liars, these people who would worship these 5 false gods. They must be up to something. Say, you are
They
a recent
claim to be the light of Thylea.
What's hogwash?
I spit because I'm the cool kid now. I just spit right on the ground.
The nobles especially are kind of like, ew. As they're kind of looking at you, the priests are just like, yes. Well, maybe if you're a recent convert, you could mix with them. Try to find out what Peter says in his drunken stupor. Maybe there is some kind of a plan to be discovered.
If I find anything out, should I report it to Gaius? I don't know where their encampment is. They haven't told me anything.
They look at each other, and the older of the two goes, oh, no. No worries about this. You come to me, and I will let him know. Make me an insight check, Claire.
Oh, no.
I mean, it seems like you hoodwinked them pretty well. You're just one of the cool kids now.
Okay, I will just mingle. I want to wait for one of them to be alone. I want to talk to one of them privately. No, I'm not going to stab anyone.
Alright, as that happens, what do the rest of you guys do?
I'm attuning for the next hour, so if she just left, I'm still swinging around with this hammer.
Oh, I will just take a second to message Yanni because I know he was worried that I was going to cause havoc. I will message Yanni
you
and
within
say,
range?
it's like 120 feet, right?
It can't be
'Cause
technically
they were just outside,
full
weren't
cover,
they?
but yeah, there's that opening in the wall, the entrance.
Yeah, and it says it can like go around walls and stuff if you've got enough
Wiggle room.
distance. Yeah. But I'll message him and tell him I'm just getting information. Apparently, they also have a dragon guarding the princess, and that's all I'll say.
Okay. Thanks. I won't tell Brisa.
Do we need to stay here until the sacrifice?
We've still got time, right?
Yeah,
It's
you-
at-
you-
We didn't. That
guess
wasn't
it's
part of the
hours.
oath, so. I'm gonna give Ro a shoulder massage while he's attuning to the hammer, because he's gonna need to be flexible.
It's like you just having toddler hands slapping against a granite tabletop, just like.
No, I'm like elbows. With him sitting on the
Same
edge of
effect.
the pool, he's like right there.
It's like
I mean,
almost.
I'm just gonna sit there and watch that.
You can almost feel it, bro. Yanni, your elbow's getting real sore.
Let him roll for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit there and watch that whole display.
Oh, you
and
want
determine
to
if
make
I'm
a
days
Constitution
old when I
saving
was-
throw to see if I hurt myself?
Yanni, make me an athletics check. Why not?
Oh boy, that big old -3.
You see Yanni go, yay!
We might see a negative number, ladies and gentlemen.
People's elbow here.
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, it tickles Rotus. It's cute. You like it, but Yanni is just like going crazy, trying to get any kind of like loosening of the muscles happening. Kasaria,
Counts.
you're watching them trying to massage.
And reflecting on when I would have done the same as in my days as priestess for the mistress.
Brissa.
I'm just chilling. Yeah. I don't really, I can't really do anything in this situation. So I'm just.
You looking for more oaths to take? You're like
Yeah.
just.
Just racking them up,
I'm
right?
up to 5.
Yeah, just, just
This is it's
Wishing
like, hey,
you could take your dragon out.
we need to get that one
my
for free.
dragon's out now, right? It's just
Oh,
around my neck. So.
And Pitor actually walks in as he sees us like, what is this? And he kind of goes up there as the you see the little pseudo dragon kind of like shrink back at first. It's like, oh, you hear that voice in your head, Brissa, as Pitor goes, it's okay, you come here, and holds out his calloused hand as the dragon kind of goes onto the thing, and it's just like scratching it, and it's like the perfect scratch. You see it actually like kick the back leg a little bit as he does. Just like, yeah, that was always the best spot. Beautiful one you have here. And kind of like flings it back as it kind of crawls across your shoulder once more.
Thank you. He's gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Yes, he is. They're rare these days. The days of dragons are long gone. What a shame. Well,
I agree. It is a shame. I agree.
from what Gara has just told me, Augustus is trying to bring back the dragons. Is this true? Have you seen these?
We saw one dragon, but I didn't know he was bringing back more dragons. Maybe I should go see him about
So,
dragons.
Kira just, or not Kira, you're Kira. Lyra, too many us. She sent me a message a minute ago that she heard from the priests that there's a dragon guarding your daughter.
What? And you see just a little bit of flashing of light. Oh no.
Yeah, Gaius has a pet dragon.
That guy, he was the one that rode the silver dragon that attacked us.
As Kara
Oh,
goes,
that makes sense.
I could not see him. Sidon's power was shading him, but that makes sense.
I recognized his tense shoulders. He really needs to get that stick out of his ass.
And you see the siblings kind of exchange a very worried look. If Sidon has brought the dragons back... And they kind of look at each other again. This could mean doom for all of the civilized lands.
They got a dragon, we got a dragon, it's all good. Theirs is bigger, but this one will grow.
That is a good one.
It's not gonna grow, is it? I was wrong, wasn't I?
That is what you call a pseudo dragon. It is not indeed a dragon.
So it's a
it is.
false dragon. Hey, Brisa, you got a false dragon. That's what pseudo means. It means false.
It's a real dragon. Don't. It's just miniature. It's like
It spreads out those little golden wings. It goes.
Are you sure Yanni doesn't have vicious mockery?
Right.
You guys seem surprised that Sidon would have a dragon. Perhaps he is using some trickery to, keep it captive.
He must. That is the only way. Skari goes. It is not the only way. She goes.
Rotus will pound the hammer on the ground and say, what are you not telling us? This is not a game we can play with our lives.
He straightens
I'm
his
literally putting my
shoulders.
life on the line.
He goes. There are some things that are complicated, but dragons are not just the ones of legend lore, ridden by Dragonlords to come and bring peace to Thylia. There are those that are spiteful and angry, those who come to only take.
I knew it.
Like the one that took your mother. And like
Flashback.
as far as I know, she still lives, Rotus. Both of them.
Oh, we gotta save your mom.
That's fine.
Wait a second. Okay, I
Yeah.
usually don't get in the face of gods, but if you knew this, why you let it happen? I mean,
You
I
don't
know
think
that you ever loved her,
that
but
I
you at
did
least...
not spend decades battling against the elements? Sidon is the god of the
Is this
seas
another Oath of
and
Peace thing?
storms. Yes, it is
Oh,
a
I'm
subclause
sorry.
or
That sucks.
something else, as Kara goes. It is. As I said, and you made a joke.
How come they can fuck with your people, but you can't fuck with their people?
Let's just say this is the first time that we were good at using words well.
Oh,
We had to learn some lessons. Some of
Gotcha.
them better than others.
hmm.
We are,
where they
to a
This
degree...
is why I don't make oaths unless I don't have a choice.
Yes. See, that is the beauty of being mortals, of being you. You have freedom, you have decisions to make. The fates are yours to explore, to spin into your tale. We have been shackled. Sure, it meant peace for 5 centuries, but
Sounds like not so much for you 5, though.
well, for some less than others. As Peter just kind of looks down.
Peace is not done well for you.
Well, I mean, he's the god of war. He's the god of battle. Of course
I've-
peace doesn't suit him.
I've
You might as well tell him he can't go banging chicks either.
At that point, I would have probably just thrown myself off the greatest mountain, and Kara just rolls her eyes. Shut
But that's my
up.
point. You've got like 2 hobbies, and they told you can't engage in the big one.
Oh, thank you! Kara just goes exasperated. Like, can we please stop talking about this? This is my brother you're talking about. It's disgusting.
I was trying to make a point about how the poor... Is man an okay word to use for you? I don't want to be insulting.
Sure,
I don't
of
know
course.
if that's too menial.
No,
The
no,
poor
absolutely.
Man, the poor man is known as the god of battle, and he hasn't gotten to fight a damn thing except his own demons for 500 years. No wonder he's drinking too much wine.
Thank you! I appoint this man. Kara just interrupts. Like, stop. Ugh. Yes, you've heard it hard. We all did. All of us. Father lost his wife. Mother disappeared. So that all of this could be here. Stop it. Finally, stop it. This preacher just goes. Fine. Fine.
We can only deal with one problem at a time.
Yes. He kind of wipes some tears away and tries to like pretend like it wasn't there. You look good with
It's
that
allergy
hammer.
season, I know. It's getting me too.
Give it, yeah,
What
yes.
the fuck are allergies?
As he just goes, you look good with that hammer, boy. He kind of just slaps you on the shoulder. Hurts a little bit.
David, I thought about my plan and I hate it, so I'll walk back in. I thought about it, I hate it. I decided I hate it, so I'll walk back in.
Abandon ship.
Alrighty. As Peter fully
I
explains
gave
what
it more
does.
thought.
Ooh, yes. Give me that.
Alright, don't forget, since this is a Warhammer, you absolutely can use it as a... oh, no, that did not do it right. Hang on one second. You can absolutely use it versatile, which means that way you can swing it as a two-handed weapon.
Perfect.
but it's not heavy, so it's not eligible for some parts of the Great Weapon Master feat.
Mhm.
But you can use it one-handed when you grapple stuff and hit it in the face.
I can already do that with two-handed weapons. That's
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I was just trying to be helpful.
Although, how is this thing not a maul if it was long enough that an 8-foot tall god could lean on it?
It seems to just have slightly different rules for gods. That's all. But there it is.
That's
So
fair.
what Peter's hammer
it's a
can
walking
do.
stick for Peter.
Exactly. For him, it's like it's cute. It's decorative. It's a +1 weapon for 2 hit and damage rolls. However, it does seem to be exceptionally light and does have the thrown property when used in one hand. The weapon has 6 charges and gets 1d6 charges back at dawn. Expending 1, you may instantly summon the hammer to your hand from any distance, and it flies directly into your grasp, trying to navigate around any obstacles if possible. By expanding 3 charges, you can use an action to make a single ranged weapon attack with the hammer as a thrown weapon against a creature up to 30 feet away. Instead of letting go of the hammer as you throw it, you can grasp hold of its handle and travel with the hammer to land within 5 feet of the target of the attack. If there's no room within 5 feet of the target, you have to let go of the hammer, which then lands within the square of the target. And finally, the thing that you can just feel innately, Rhodas, is that its main purpose is to forge magical weapons and armor, and if used in such a fashion, the creation time is halved.
nice.
Forget about that line that I forgot to delete.
What's the range if you throw it without the 3 charges thing?
Let me look that up.
We're gonna need to know that eventually. That's why I ask. I don't see it there. And by we, I mean you and Brian. But yeah.
I think it would be
When
just
I
kind of like
make-
the same thing as a throwing hammer. Let me see if I can find that.
At 6th level, I will be able to add my bonus raging damage to thrown weapons also.
I'd probably check the Hammer of Thunderbolts. I mean, that is a maul, technically, but it does have a thrown attack. This thing's closer in size to that than a light hammer.
As
I don't think a regular Warhammer has a thrown range.
Yeah,
it's 60,
it
120.
did in previous editions, but
Oh, okay.
6120 is
I
way
think. Let
better
me
than
double
Hammer
check.
of Thunderbolts, so I'll take it. Hammer
Yeah,
of Thunderbolts is
wow.
2060.
Oh, it is 2060. It's 2060. Because it's technically like because of lightness, it is 2060. Sorry, I apologize for getting you get super excited and then slightly less excited.
It's alright. I can summon it and I can fly with it. It seems pretty dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I want to get some more info from Vulcan about it.
Alrighty, what else would you guys like to do as Lyra comes back in the form of a female priestess of Sidon, having switched sides and obviously is here to protect you guys? What do you guys like to do before?
oh wait, we saw you change, didn't we?
Yeah.
I was gonna be
Well,
like,
you
"What are
saw me
doing?"
change into someone else, actually.
Well, still.
Yeah, you see a female priestess of Sidon walk in. You guys are kind of like, ah.
Did somebody order heroes?
I pull out my gun.
So this is happening. Everything's going down tonight. About how many hours is that? And what do we
This is
expect
going to
until
be
we out this
at
rock?
least like another 6-ish hours, probably.
Perfect. I will drop my disguise.
I still have my gun pulled out.
It's Lyra. Did you bring heroes?
Oh, I'll grab some later.
Okay.
Why don't we go out to eat? We've got some time.
Rhodas would like to go see Vulcan and get some last-minute advice.
I want to. Yeah, if you're gonna go meet see Vulcan, I want to meet another god. That'd be like 4 gods in less than 3 weeks.
Yeah, I do want to talk to Kyra because once I
Which
hated
I-
my plan, I thought of another plan.
It's the plan that never ends. Alrighty. So as you guys cut back into the city itself, out of the
Getting some street food on the way.
Yeah, the temple is up here. So as you guys go back, by the way, you guys are told that currently Aesop is not there, as Kyra kind of points that out, but that is where the dragon shrine is, and that is where originally the horn of Balmitria was stored, but recently stolen. You guys head back down the promenade and back to Vulcan's Hall. As you guys
What
get
does
there,
the marketplace look like on the way?
it is busy. There's a lot of buzz in the streets, and people look towards you, especially as you wield the hammer. Kind of like up on a shoulder road as you walk around, and there are people kind of like starting to whisper and kind of like point at you and stuff like that. You see this trio of blondes kind of swoon as you walk by, say something like, "He's so fit like Gaston," and like you're like, "Wait, what? This is a different universe altogether." But as you walk by, and definitely are starting to draw looks. There are certainly some people who give you also very just venomous Latin looks as you pass by.
Are there a lot of street vendors, and are any wares kind of tantalizing looking?
Oh yeah. The others already went shopping before all of this, so absolutely.
Are there centaurs around? Like this, or is it relatively uncommon to see them? I'm just wondering, there's 5,000 of them outside the city, so I'm wondering if it's common to.
In Astoria currently, none that you actually see running around. You did see one actually walk around earlier, but like currently in this hubbub, in the busyness, there's actually nobody there. All right, as you guys are kind of pushing in and you walk into this large hall once more, just for the people who joined in for the first time, hi everybody. So again, near the center of the town is this large building with fortified stone walls and a shingled roof. A sign hangs above the building's heavy bronze-banded doors, and it reads Vulcan's Hall. Inside the hall, you are greeted by the warm glow of embers, blasts of hot air, and you see it is decorated with a variety of bronze armors, weapons, and farming tools. As the weathered-looking dwarf kind of actually is currently puffing away at a little bit of a pipe in his mouth as he just considers you guys walking in. He still has a monocle up as he's like, "So you've come back?"
Grandpa?
"I am." He kind of shouts over towards you guys. "Come on back here.
Yanni,
Start
Yanni walks up
fighting
to
in the
him
shadows."
and kind of does a little. Father?
So you talked to my boy, huh?
We were able to, for what he was able to say through his drunkenness.
As Kyra stayed outside, very purposely it seems. He kind of looks around. That one. I'm glad she was able to snap him out of it. And he's doing it again, come on.
More like slap him out of it.
Well, that's what he needed. I was kind of sad when you didn't do it. He could have needed it.
I'm assuming that was aimed at Rodus and not Yanni.
That was at Rodus.
Yeah.
Okay.
We seem to have cooked up a scheme that may yet save Honora, and to help us accomplish this, he's entrusted us with this hammer. I'm hoping you can tell us more about it.
May I?
Hand it over.
As you kind of like start handing it over, he kind of does that little flick, and the hammer just flies into his hand as he's just like, "I've missed this one. I never gave it the true name. He just wanted to call it Peter's hammer." My hammer. Young and foolish. And he like takes it like almost like a cutting knife on a board or something like that, and easily just like and catches it perfectly. You can see he kind of like spins it. It kind of just spins on his hand as he catches it. He's like, "I've missed this."
Rodus is furiously taking notes.
He kind of sees you, kind of like looking, like trying to keep track of anything, as he does kind of like a weird move where he kind of flicks it backwards, and it seems to and fly backwards, and then like rotate back around in the front, catching it, and kind of like
hammer.
Yeah, like puts it through his fingers almost like a coin. You're getting the sense that Peter certainly inherited a little bit of that show-off sensibility that Vulcan has. And he goes,
And Rodus too.
"But you see, this is a weapon I built for a child that was going to lose his hammer everywhere. What you need is your own weapon. I see this one received your father's blessing already. As he looks at the sword on your back.
Yeah, I'll take that off my back and offer it to him as well if he...
He just holds up his hand and he goes, no, not here. You will have to go to the Mithril mines. Reclaim the lands that the dwarves had claimed. Get the forge working again. When the time is right, summon me, and I shall come. And then I shall forge a blade for you, like none other. And it will truly be Rotis's blade. My boy.
I will hold you to that.
Ah, you better. Vulcan never misses a promise. And he kind of like underhand swings the hammer back to you as you just like perfectly catch it. And it's just an easy, light feeling. You just like.
And then you realize Yanni's curled up behind you like.
I actually handed back to him, and I asked him, I'd like you to keep this safe for us. When I need it tonight, I will summon it, but I won't be able to keep it.
I see. Clever. I am excited to see what you have come up with. Kyra was shielding the temple from view. Smart. Very well.
He is a quick-witted one.
I wish he could have amounted to a little bit more.
No, I think it's too full. Thank
But-
you, though.
Saved our bacon a few times.
Yeah.
She's a literal
Don't be too
god.
hard on her.
What are your expectations?
She has the right mind, but her fancies just flutter in the wind like a butterfly. Anyway, Very
But
well.
like Pitor's so focused on battle, he's been miserable for 500 years now because he couldn't do it. So sometimes being flexible, it makes sense.
you kind of look around. There's the hard muscles. There's all the metal that he works with. He's like, when you bend so much that you are useless, sometimes it's better to just break. I respect
Okay,
my
I'm gonna stay
wife
out of this.
for what she decided to do so long ago. But it is good. This oath of peace is coming to an end. Sidon and Lutheria played us for fools. It is time that we reclaim what should have been rightfully ours right then and there. Bring an end to this. Yes. A blade I will forge like none other. Rotis of my blood. There's just like this teeth kind of shining through that big bushy beard of hers.
Rose can't help but smile back, and he'll ask any parting advice you would have for the chosen ones of Thylia, the light of Thylia. A gesture at my companions.
I don't know. At this point, I feel like blood will be shed. One thing that you should know, the way that the sacrifices usually go at the rock, that is where you're going to be tied up, yes?
Indeed.
They use basilisks. They come out of the water, petrify the targets, and then tear the rock apart, limb by limb, crunching it apart. That is what you can expect.
Why is there so
down
much
there.
blood?
There is sometimes they'd rather just kill the thing outright.
Okay, that makes sense. I was starting to think there was some truth to that whole blood from a stone thing.
Very well then. Armed with this, make sure you stay to the terms of whatever oath you swore. Being cursed by us is not good. We all have to enforce it.
Of course.
Do you though?
We do. That is the
Okay.
law of Thylia.
So it's kind of like you took an oath to enforce the whole oath-breaking punishment thing.
Yes. Law must be there.
Okay.
Alright. Well, I have work to do, and you have, a little bit of, shenanigans to prepare for. Thank you for coming here, my grandson.
Thank you for everything you've given us.
Bah! It's been nothing.
It,
Yet.
it was very nice to meet you and your 3 children in the last couple weeks.
Yes. And there's just a moment. There's like a moment of contemplation that he exhibits that kind of communicates to you that he, I don't know. There's a lot of heavy family baggage here, clearly. As you guys leave the hall and leave, you know, the old dwarf to himself, you guys are free to do what you would like with the next however many hours.
I want to grab Kyra and Kira, whatever. Talk to her.
Yes, my dear.
Did I hear you correctly that you said you found the encampment where they were keeping... I forgot her name again. Honora.
Yes, it is about 10 miles north from here.
I'll unfurl my wings and just say, I need you to take me there.
What is your plan?
I can set a mental ticking time bomb.
The suggestion, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want you to die. Okay. You can do this. I have full faith and credit in you. You can do this. Okay, you can do this. You can see it's just killing her to just kind of do that. It's like, okay. Well, should we go?
Lead
I
the
am
way.
hungry. Let's get some gyros on the way out.
Yes.
Okay, she kind of runs over to one of the stands. You see the guy kind of like looks immediately just like smitten, and he tries to like chat her up, and she's just like, hey, just give me the gyros. And after like 2 minutes or so, there's like this ever continual flame that is burning underneath the grill. Comes on over with a couple shish kebabs each for you guys, with all of the gyro meat on top of it. Hands it over. A flying talk, and just like a superhero, she just starts to take off as hundreds of people just like, it's a god. She is with Rotis. She's with the Light of Dahlia. As they're kind of like pointing towards that stuff. All right, Lyra.
And it's me. It's also me.
Lyra, for you, this is going to be a miniature skill challenge. And with your flying speed, shoot, I have to translate that into miles. How quickly can you fly right now in miles?
The same as I can walk, so I don't know how long that will take.
Damon, I feel like you know this.
If Kyra wants to help.
I can break out a calculator.
Because that's like
So,
300 feet a
hold on.
minute. Well, 600 feet a minute if you're dashing, but that would potentially lead to some exhaustion. So 3,600 feet per hour. It would take you a while, but you could probably make it there in like a
3,600.
couple hours.
It's not even a mile.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
So I can move,
Well, that's not.
theoretically, if I don't dash, it's
I mean,
30 feet
even
every
my
6
fat ass
seconds,
rambling
right?
can cover a mile in 15 minutes.
Right.
So
30 feet every 6 seconds,
I'm
which
also not good at
means-
math.
300 feet a minute.
Times 2 for dashing.
Yeah, let's do this.
Right, if I'm dashing, yeah. So 600 feet a
60
minute.
Times
And a mile
10
is
a
what?
minute.
53 something?
60.
5720.
Yeah.
Or no wait.
36,000.
280.
That's what it is. You can
what
move
I was thinking.
36,000 miles. Feet.
I can move a mile in 9.5 minutes, theoretically, if I
Makes
dash.
sense.
So,
Yeah, in an hour you can
10
cover
miles
almost
would
7
be-
miles. What? Why can't I
it would
do math?
take like an hour and a half for
Yeah.
me to do 10 miles.
Wait,
An
isn't that what I
hour-
said originally?
Hour and
I feel like.
to do 10 miles, it would take
Oh
me
yeah,
an hour and a half.
yeah. Alrighty, cool. Yeah. So, however, that is quite a bit of flying. Dashing for that long is pretty exhausting. Make me a Constitution saving throw as you're trying to keep up with Kyra that is flung forward by supernatural causes.
If I need to slow down at any point, I won't mind it. Getting 10 miles in 3 hours still leaves us enough time
Those
pretty
euros
sure.
are cracking them or something.
You said a Constitution
They're
check.
from Albuquerque.
The secret ingredient is meth.
Yeah. Sorry, say that one more time, Leo.
A Constitution check or a save? Sorry.
Saving throw.
Okay.
All right, you are barely able to not get a level of exhaustion as you're just like.
And I'll take
Alrighty.
it if I need to. I know. To save Rodus, I'm cool with it.
All right, hour and a half.
I'll
you
be
see,
a little tired.
You
too,
see
I'm cool with it too.
massive sized tents. They're kind of like almost imagine them kind of like yurts, like Mongolian, and make these roundish tents with kind of like pointed to the top circular roofs, right? As they're like lazy trails of smoke rising from them, and you see just hundreds and hundreds of these tents, and you see even more, just thousands of centaurs kind of milling about, looking at different things. As Kara goes, all right, I was able to keep us somewhat disguised on the way here, but you got this. And she pats you on the shoulder. You have a Kyra inspiration.
Yay. I need you to watch me. I need to get close.
I can't go
Not super close. I know. Just if I get in trouble, I'll leave and you'll know.
in. I hope you can leave. Alrighty, Lyra. This is where the skill challenge starts. Alright. Normally, I do 5 successful skills before 3 failed. In this case, we're going to change it to 3 successful before you have 2 failures. First, as you approach this this tent city, how do you approach? Are you trying to be kind of like, sneaky about it, or what? You trying to like lie your way in?
So I want to
Is this like a lie?
stay out of I want to stay out of attention as much as I can, but just as a backup plan, I will turn myself into a guard.
Okay. You look at
Like
some of the humans that are milling about. They're not a whole lot, but there are some. And as you approach, you ultimately make your way there. And as you are kind of being stopped, you see there's actually a patrol of 3 centaurs that kind of stop you like, where did you come from? No patrol was supposed to come out this way.
I was just scouting to see what was happening in town in regards to the group that is with Pitor.
Hey everybody, thank you guys so much for rating. Sorry, I definitely have to say it. Hey, we got 27 people. Hi guys. Welcome to Odyssey of the Dragonlords. What you guys are walking into, just as an FYI. Lyra,
Oh, no.
on the side here, is currently in a disguise self spell. She's trying to infiltrate a camp of thousands of centaurs that are camping out outside of the city that you guys are watching there. As she's on a little bit of a solo mission, she's doing a skill challenge, which means you need to have 3 successes before 2 failures, or otherwise shit is gonna go sideways. All right, Lyra, go ahead and make me that deception check. Alrighty. Thank you so much for the sub. As you tell that story about like, oh, I was just doing this stuff, they're just like, what did you see?
It seems like they went to what's that guy's name? Vulcus? Sorry, I
Vulcan?
forgot. Yeah, Vulcan. They went to Vulcan's shop. That's the last thing I saw. I'm not sure if they're planning anything, but I feel like we should be wary about the tricks.
Okay, go report to the general right now. Go.
Yep, I will just keep walking.
All right, that is 1 success, 0 failure so far. As you're starting to walk through the camp here, this is not part of the skill challenge, but I do need you to make me a perception check.
That's fine. Definitely don't have a 0 on that.
Alrighty, your nerves are kind of getting the better of you, and you're just like quickly walking around. You're trying to find the tent as you're just like, and as you stop someone who's currently like, there's a trio of what looks like a satyr, another siren, and a human kind of playing dice with made out of bones currently as they're kind of rolling back and forth. You kind of look at them, you're like, shit, this is my best option. You head on over there as you ask them, what? You're trying to get to the general's tent or something else?
I'm really just trying to find someone who's going to be in the escorting party. I don't want to get close to the general, definitely. But I will say, I am a newer recruit, and I get real confused with all of these tents. I just need someone to point me in the direction of the general.
They all kind of look at you, interrupting their game. Make me a persuasion check.
Do I get advantage because I'm a siren, and I get advantage when I use my voice?
Do you have that active right now, or do you have flying active right now?
It's just a feat. It's called enthralling voice. I get advantage on persuasion checks made with your voice.
Go ahead and get advantage.
Yay!
Odyssey of the Dragonlords has fantastic races and subclasses. You guys should
I
definitely
rolled the
check it
same thing for both of them. That's
hilarious.
fantastic.
As they kind of look at each other, seem to be annoyed and just wanting to get back, and it's like, yeah, you see, just cut through there, like second row on the right. That large tent. Yeah, go towards that one. Yeah, get out of here. That
Thank
somehow
you.
is
And
a success.
I'll give them a gold just so they
Pling.
think I'm cool.
They kind of look at you like, and then they kind of like start to all grab each the coin at the same time. As you see the siren kind of reach for a dagger, the satyr already has like what looks like a little bit of a shank out, and the human is just like gathering some energy. You're like, okay, I'm out of here. As you start walking out of this path, 2 successes, 1 failure. As you make your way now towards the main tent. As you get closer, this tent is massive, imposing, and you can tell that there's almost like a trench that was dug around it. It has some kind of a weird, massive flap on the side that is currently closed. And as you're getting closer, you can just hear a some kind of massive breath coming from the other side. As you're getting closer, you also see, again, the same hoplets that you had seen before, ringing the tent outside, kind of doing a lookabout. And again, their bristles at the top are kind of like an alteration of white and blue, and the white and blue, like the white kind of makes like a lightning pattern with the coloration of the bristles up top. As you're getting closer, what do you do?
I know there's a dragon, so I'm going to avoid the dragon. But I want to find one of the men that was escorting Gaius, because I feel like they will be a part of the party.
Okay. This is
I
not
want to
going
make
be
sure that
part of the skill challenge,
Yeah.
but go ahead and make me an investigation check, as you're looking for like maybe shift changes, P breaks, anything like that.
Right. And I don't even need to talk to them. I just need to get within 30 feet of them. I just want to make sure that it's someone that's going to be there. No.
You kind of like looking for that stuff, and as someone kind of turns away, you're like, okay, this is my opportunity. You start walking towards them, and you see that you actually like they're turned into the tent, but at this point all the eyes of the guards are on you, and you're just like as you just walk in right behind that person and kind of like awkwardly time it as you walk into the tent at the same time, as the guard just goes, Captain General Gaius kind of looks at you like, who the fuck are you? I just wanted to know what the commands were. How soon do we need to leave? As you see now inside the tent, there are all of these braziers ringing the inside of this large tent. It is actually currently cut in half. You're on, well, we'll say just like the southern side of this circular half of it. And on the other side now, you hear that there's a massive table made out of oak wood before you. And interestingly enough, you actually see carved into the wood itself seems to be an accurate topography of what is Thylea. You see different markers and different positions within that, and magically kind of like put above it, you see what seem to be markers for armies and the like, as you just like, make me a perception check to see how much of that you'll be able to retain quickly. You're just kind of like looking at it and you're like, I shouldn't be caught doing this. As Gaius is kind of like looking at everything, looking at you guys, waves his hand, and suddenly all the magic just whisks out of existence. And he just goes, prepare. I will follow soon. Bring the full retinue. Who are you? Now speaking to you, Larry.
Yeah, I'll just stand up straight and say, General Gaius, my name is Byra. I was sent to scout. I saw the light of Thylea.
Do not call them
Vulcan's
that.
shop.
They're false pretend heroes. They're simply another thorn in our side to make Thylea great again. As he starts
Absolutely,
pacing
sir.
on the other side of the table.
I'm sorry, sir. They entered
Anyway,
Vulcan's
continue.
shop. I just thought.
Stop stumbling over yourself. Tell me what you need.
I just need you to tell me what my next orders are, sir.
So you saw these people, and what else?
It seemed like they were conspiring with the shop owner. It seemed like Petor had given them an item.
What item?
To help them. I don't know, sir. A hammer.
What did the hammer look like?
It was a dragon head. With
Side of
horns.
wrath, these cheaters. So be it. If they cheat, may they be cursed by Thylea, Sidon, and Lutheria until the end of days. Meketamane tear them apart limb by limb. Oh, I will enjoy that day. You have done well. Thank you for reporting, soldier. Now get. As you're just like, you feel the sweat running down your back. You're like,
Sir, and then I just leave the tent.
As you head out, all right, you had, yeah, as you move on, you kind of like look around for another potential opportunity to grab one of those people. Make me a perception check.
Is this part of the skill thing, or no? Because if it is, I'll use Kyra's inspiration. If I fail this, will I die? That's pretty much what I'm asking. That's not terrible, I guess.
Where's that? That is a failure. You kind of stand there for a little bit too long as the soldiers are kind of like the ones that are immediately by the entrance, just like, go! The commander told you to go. Go! Alright, you're sitting at 2 successes and 1 failure, so you kind of like slink off to the side. What's the plan, Lyra?
Do I see the soldier that was in the tent with me, or is he already gone?
Make me, if this is not a skill challenge check, but make me a perception check.
I'm so bad. We see this. I'm so bad.
But yeah, as you kind of look around, you see kind of like the tail end of that weird kind of like sideways feathered hat, as you're just like, okay, as you kind of run after them and kind of like start to walk up towards them. You get the feeling, now or never.
Yeah, I will wait until we're as secluded as we can possibly be. I don't want to get up close to him because I don't want him to realize it was me if it fucks up. But I will get 30 feet and cast Suggestion.
All right, cast Suggestion first. Then make me a stealth check. Don't forget you still have Kyra's inspiration.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it. And
don't if you want to, make it a blind stealth roll. Let me know what your DC is too.
Do it.
That's
That's
14.
14. Okay, so blind. It's blind.
It's
GM
at the little
roll,
drop
right?
down, and you select. Yeah, if you click on where it says public roll into blind GM roll, it should tell you.
Blind GM roll. Okay. So it's.
All right, I'm gonna roll a real die for this one.
Oh, I hate everything. So here's my stealth that I'm not gonna see, and then Kyra's is a D12, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's that. There's that.
Okay.
What a time to roll 2 ones.
Alrighty. As you step forward, the person does actually have to, like, listen to the words, right? As per the language on the suggestion spell. So.
I can influence. They just have to be able to hear me, but I didn't want to get close enough for other people to see that I was up to something, basically.
What do you suggest it do? Or they?
I want to tell him, ensure that you're part of the escorting party to the sacrifice of Pitor's son, and when you see him, start a riot and attack him.
That's a lot of ands on that one.
It's 2 sentences. I can make it 2 sentences.
Make it one sentence.
Ensure that you are... Okay.
It could be a conditional sentence. Conjunction junction, what's your function? If you've seen those.
Right.
They're a little old school.
1 sentence. Okay.
It's like, the newsroom. In 1 sentence or less, describe why America is the best country in the world.
Can I have 1 and?
Fine.
Ensure that you're the escorting party to the sacrifice and attack Rhodas on sight.
Alrighty. As that happens, you cast the spell forth, and you're trying to be kind of like relatively sneaky about that. The individual turns around and kind of makes eye contact with you. He's like, Huz! Yes. But they deserve that fate. Thank you for suggesting it. And walks off. But as you
I'll
do
just nod and walk away.
As you do that, you got a total of 16. The perception check, or the perception check DC essentially in this one, was 17.
No!
As you kind of like finish the casting, suddenly there's a... as that growling comes from that large tent behind you where you had just walked out of, that Gaius was also in. You suddenly see as a massive white head just shoots through that back flap and kind of like starts looking around and kind of sniffing the air all around itself as you're just like, oh shit, and starting to rush out. Alrighty. That was 2 successes, 2 failures. You are discovered, but you certainly can still try to make your way out. Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll book it.
What I'll do is have you roll an initiative check. This is going to determine whether you can make it out before the entire camp is potentially roused by this. So just go ahead and make me a straight dexterity check. You don't have anything fancy on right now, do you?
No, I gave Alacrity to Rhodas and we haven't slept yet. So
Oh no!
I know.
Okay.
Just an initiative check?
Just a straight initiative check.
Fuck me. Okay. Oh. It won't let me because we're not in an encounter. So should I just roll a d20 plus my dex?
Yeah, you can just click on...
Or-
Make it essentially a dex check. Man, you can,
Got
imagine if Tyler, aka Lyra, would have actually gotten disadvantage on that because of an exhaustion.
Yeah,
You got a
that
natural
was,
5, by the way, on that original check. The inspiration was an 11.
Oh, cool. At least that was helpful. So just a dex check.
It's the left box.
Oh, whoops! It's still blind. Whatever.
Alrighty. As Lyra, you're just like starting to run in that human guise, and the silvery dragon's head just pushes through. You see the massive wings kind of starting to expand outward, and move towards you. We're gonna cut away from Lyra and go towards the rest of you guys. Because it's gonna take Lyra hours to get back. Like the soonest she'll be back is like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. In those hours, what would the rest of you guys accomplish?
I would like to go visit the spot of sacrifice and see if we might be able to get a better idea of what the battleground might look like.
Sure thing.
Man, it's like you were reading my mind.
Oh, you guys always wanting
Also,
to see
will we know?
exactly
Will
what
we
the
know the
battlefield is.
Lyra back if she's in the belly of a dragon? That's my question.
Say that one more time.
Will we know that Lyra's back if she comes back in the belly of a dragon?
Do you have locate person? I think that is blocked by certain things, right?
I don't have second level spells yet.
Don't worry, Kyra will let you know that I'm dead.
He's supposed to be watching.
Right. Who's missing here?
I did ask her to at least watch.
Oh,
Hopefully
she's
she
certainly
saw the dragon.
watching. There's no question about it. All right. This is what this will look like. It's a little tease for next week, you guys. Always trying to get the best of me.
Yeah.
Gotta plan a little bit. Screenshot.
Oh, it's out on a list. Okay.
Yeah, so the Rock of Pitor
There's
is,
two of
or
me.
sorry, damn it, now you have me saying it too. Estor is actually a little ways out into the water, and you're kind of standing on it currently, Rodus. So what it will look like is a little bit like this. It is a little bit off of the shore. There are these kind of like washed away plateaus. They're not quite plateaus. It's just like little plinths almost where you can walk across and then climb down. There's some ladders that lead up that you can shoot from, for example. And that is where you're going to be finding yourself specifically, Rodus. Sorry that you're on there twice.
Oh,
just
I
got
will
super
be.
excited.
So I will be on that island.
Yeah. That's kind of like
Yeah, we'll
where
see.
the sacrifice will be done.
We'll see if I ever make it out there. Ideally, we would be. we will have interfered before I'm chained up on a rock on an island.
There seems to be shallow water in front of the
Oh.
island between Rodus and the rest of us, but behind it, is that deeper water?
That is deeper water.
Great. Crane could potentially be in that deeper water hidden, because she can breathe underwater pretty much, for a long period of time.
Alrighty. As you guys will take some time to plan for that stuff, and we can do some off-screen planning to cut ahead a little bit. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to address this week?
Crane needs to go for a bit of a cardio cathartic swim, I think. After all of that heated emotion, she goes for some laps.
Okay.
And meets everyone later.
Crane, as you're splashing around, wait until he can hear.
Excuse me.
Suddenly you guys see as there these little ridged fins that just cut through the water and start moving towards Crane. As you're swimming across, you guys are kind of
competition.
like, and as you're
the
swimming around,
basilisks?
indeed, suddenly you see the backs of two
I forgot about
basilisks
them.
kind of pop out of the water. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to be picking it up next week. Oh,
Okay. He'll be basilisks first, and we can take care of those.
yeah, there's that. Hey,
What
you
if we
guys,
skip
especially the
Right below
newbies.
their
I
and then
appreciate.
when they expect the Basilisk to come out for kill Rodus, we'll be like, haha, it's actually us. Kill you now. I don't know.
before you guys all jump off, I saw quite a few jumped off already. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I just wanted to say that we appreciate the time that you have. Give us a follow. We're trying to hit a couple of follower goals, which include like a PvP with the other stream that we have on Sunday nights. That is at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. If you guys want to be in a campaign like this, it's kind of hard to read, but in the top right corner of your guys' screen, you'd be seeing that Polyhedra.io. We have a bunch of campaigns that we'd love more players in. But at the end of the night, I am happy. This is my last day of campaigns until I take my 2-day break, and it is a wonderful way to end, especially with these people. Thank you guys for the subscriptions. If you're using your Twitch Prime stuff, don't forget to re-up it because it is that time of the month for us. And thank you guys so much for tuning in again.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Heck yeah, dudes.